Introduction. Motivation is not only making people do things, it is making people do things with greater enthusiasm. People have minds of their own, and it is their perception of the world that makes them decide to move or not to move, to be motivated or not to be motivated, but there are a few things we can do to influence them. Therefore, it is important to note that people need positive reinforcement in life so that we can make them feel that they are doing the right thing and are moving in the right direction. While motivating the unmotivated has been an important function of all our managers and supervisors of the workforce, oftentimes this vital responsibility has not been performed well enough. Hence, the commercial as well as the private sectors have wanted some relevant changes in the system. We do have our share of these unmotivated workers at all our workplaces, and on many occasions we get frustrated because we are not able to do much to motivate them to show their peak performance at all times. The good news is that these types of workers can be motivated, but we need to do our needs analysis and work according to their individual needs by developing different prescriptions for particular types of unmotivated workers. Some of these lectures have ideas to tackle the problem. Of course, these are not the only solutions because many managers can do better. Motivation is not only making people do things, it is making people do things with greater enthusiasm. People have minds of their own, and it is their perception of the world that makes them decide to move or not to move, to be motivated or not to be motivated, but there are a few things we can do to influence them. Therefore, it is important to note that people need positive reinforcement in life so that we can make them feel that they are doing the right thing and moving in the right direction. I think that a more successful person is the one who went ahead and did the thing the rest of us never quite got around to doing. But we can be motivated to catch up with whatever we missed in our life. So there is hope of making our commercial, industrial, and the private sectors perform even better and give the services that are appreciated by the public or consumers. I wrote this in my introduction, and I emphasize it again, that to motivate the unmotivated is not an easy task, because it requires continuous action and inspiration that should change the life of any performer anywhere, anytime, and any way. Working as a teacher and human resource development personnel for over 4 decades has encouraged me to conduct various research studies, conduct needs analysis, do professional reading, present papers and speeches, and display leadership qualities at numerous workstations, seminars, international conferences, and social gatherings around the world. These in turn have enriched my life, and I am deeply indebted to my colleagues, friends, and family members for my personal development and knowledge. Now that I have retired from active work life, I think it is appropriate to plow back some of my own knowledge and skills that I have accumulated over the years to motivate everyone to keep moving ahead with vigor and brilliance in their daily activities. These series of presentation can assist people in need of ideas for motivating the unmotivated in the 21st century. The subject that I have chosen for my presentation is Moving Ahead with Self-Motivation, and I hope to cover various aspects of this topic and reveal how the knowledge and skills relating to motivation can enrich people's own life and daily activities, thereby making these attributes rub off to benefit other colleagues and workmates. I have found out that anyone who wants to be successful in the 21st century has to take initiative and learn to be firm, fair, and functional. It is increasingly realized that the path of human success and development begins within a person. So to thrive on the challenges that lie ahead, one has to constantly and continuously pioneer, create, develop, and construct one's future route if proper progress, prosperity, and peace are the intended objectives. You would definitely agree with me that our life should be an adventure, an ongoing series of rich experiences, a process of setting realistic goals and achieving fulfillment by realizing these aspects. We would certainly appreciate it if every day can bring a spiritual triumph to us, like the bright and warm sun bursting through the dark clouds. People who aim to be effective, efficient, and successful in life have to gradually learn to meet the current and future challenges of their lives by first taking a hard, careful, and serious assessment of their daily activities and themselves. My own finding is that those of us who take time to continuously and constantly evaluate our daily living and examine ourselves thoroughly and without prejudice are able to detect their own strengths, weaknesses, talents, and opportunities. My aim is simple. I want to help people to penetrate the fog, clear the clouds, and look into their inner self to grasp their confidence, their success orientation, and the radiance around them. Many people have done this, and so can everyone around us. This self-realization, or the deeper knowledge of ourself, adequately and strongly equips us to search and find workable ideas, solutions, and strategies to further improve our performance and competence. However, those of us who have many untimely needs and demands, disorganized attitudes, and uncontrolled timetables and schedules are not able to look inwards and assess our daily living critically. Consequently, we meet many failures and insurmountable problems. In the circumstances, we can only put the blame on ourselves. If self-assessment is not high on the agenda of our daily living, and we are not able to give high priority to this aspect, then definitely we would not be able to take full advantage of the many glaring opportunities that knock at our door continuously. Thus, the multiple golden opportunities grow smaller and smaller and get lost in the terrible darkness of our lives. They become our threats, weaknesses, difficulties, and cause a lot of negative growth within our environment and us. Some people learn to get up and go without much pushing and encouragement because they have done their self-assessment and have a definite objective in life, but there are many of us who require the art and skills of self-motivation because we lack the necessary discipline, knowledge, and enthusiasm. Knowledge is our power and information is our technology of the future. Therefore, we need to be fully motivated to take the advantage of all the opportunities that lie ahead in our path. Knowledge of who you are and the information about the people, places, and practices make us fully prepared to face the world we are going to live in the future. Anyone who loves change, has desire for fast-paced innovation, and become a thrill seeker is definitely ready to be motivated. To learn to motivate yourself is one of the best prescriptions for moving ahead and excel further in your chosen profession or trade. Motivated people are certainly peak performers and high achievers ready to move ahead with vigor. While working as a human resource practitioner, I always had a strong dislike for individuals who were not performing well, and I developed a deep desire to improve their skills, talents, and outlook. I successfully managed to change people's attitudes to work and life generally. I was happy to transform them by giving them the necessary tools of self-motivation. I was successful because I developed a strong positive mental attitude. I was successful because I took success as a ladder and not an escalator. My success came to me because for me success was not a destination but a long, continuous, exhilarating, and pleasant journey. Then I took a lesson from a wheelbarrow and learned to lift myself up from the right end and keep pushing in order to be successful. Of course, like a turtle, I had to learn to stick my neck out in order to move forward. The ideas and suggestions contained in my presentation have come from various sources: my personal experiences and practices, my interactions with motivated leaders and people, my active participations in family and community life, and my own thoughts and professional reading. We all can do these things and make our lives full of meaning and purpose. These ideas can be put to many uses. You can get all the needed information about your success points. You will learn to get up and go to achieve your goals. You will learn to think positively to keep your progress sound, alive, and solid. You as a reader have a very well constructed ladder in front of you. It is not visible now, but as you read the episodes page by page, you will be able to appreciate and master these ideas and suggestions to learn to rise higher and higher in your daily life. The greatest thing to remember here is that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. You alone will have to decide to take that essential first step to read, and then it will lead you to rise, grow up, enrich yourself, and become a motivated person. This presentation has its beauty, but it will only be revealed to the one who reads this with open mind and appreciates my intentions. After reading this, you will say, "I can." There are many lessons that we can learn from our rich experiences. One lesson that I learned early in life was to work hard, and it has always paid me heaps of dividends. In order to do this successfully, we need to be brave, determined, and focused. Do all your tasks well, and share your duties and responsibilities carefully. Thus you make yourselves stronger, more valuable, and disciplined. Always remember one important rule of life. Every successful person has to behave with tremendous integrity, sincerity, and honesty with oneself. If you do this well enough, then motivating yourself to do anything in life will become a lot easier and simpler. You too can move mountains and motivate the unmotivated. Lecture 2. Self-Development. We all can work hard and develop our skills and talents ourselves. Every successful person has self-development as a banner behind him or her. You can definitely claim that you are the boss of yourself. You can do anything to develop yourself, your attitude, and your talents. You are the master of your destiny. No one can stop you to do the right things at the right time if you have that strong desire to get up and go. You have absolute freedom to choose your own route to success, progress, and prosperity. You can become whatever you want to be, and no one can hold you back if you have a strong wish, deep determination, and serious self-confidence. This world is not for cowards, and if you display simple bravery within yourself, you are sure to be successful in everything you plan to do. I am not asking you to fly, but I want you to gather all your potentials and divert your good energy towards success and beat every failure that you face. This can be done by everyone who treasures determination and perseverance. I have used these workable ideas myself, and many of my students have given me their feedback that these ideas and suggestions have worked for them to enrich their work and family life tremendously. You too can experience many changes by interpreting these ideas the way you want. A motivator can assist you to achieve your desired results, but you alone have to develop a burning desire within you to excel, move forward, and progress, to learn and prosper. You must fully understand that you are the key to your own development. If you can visualize and understand one of the greatest powers that are hidden within you, then you will be able to achieve peak performance. You alone can make the difference to yourself. I can give you the most powerful sentence that contains 10 two-letter words, and this statement will help you bring the needed change within you and boost your self-esteem to conduct your self-development. One of my favorite teachers gave me this powerful mantra, and it has given me a lot of enthusiasm and encouragement in life. If it is to be, it is up to me. This 10 two-letter word sentence has done miracles for me, and it would help you too. You have to convince yourself that everything that you do depends on you and your determination, so you can develop your own prayer for success and self-development. It all depends on me. If the above statements become your daily mantra, then you will definitely develop full confidence in your words, actions, thoughts, character, and heart. They will watch your progress and help you build a unique personality. So there are a lot of reasons to place complete trust in yourself and your conduct by emulating and practicing the idea behind these simple statements. Once you begin to hold your belief in these statements, help and assistance will come to you in abundance from many directions. Certainly then, if you want to help yourself develop strongly and intelligently, and want to be successful to meet the increasing challenges of the 21st century, you need to look at another very simple statement. Learn to say, "I can," at every step of your mental, physical, and social development. "I can" has been a positive statement, and it has the power to create a miracle within you and in your life. It will have a flow-on effect on your family, friends, and workmates if you firmly believe in the strength of this simple sentence. During my university days, I remember writing this sentence in bold capital letters on a large sheet of cardboard and hanging it on my bedroom and study wall. These 4 letters of the alphabet certainly brought a lot of success and progress for me over the years to change my overall attitude to living, learning, listening, and working. I found an appropriate word for each of the 4 letters to enhance my living style. You too can completely change your personality and attitude to perform if you fully understood the meaning and rationale hidden behind these 4 words. Each of these 4 letters of the sentence, I can, represents a very strong theme of self-development, self-image, and self-confidence in every person. This concept is as easy as ABCD because anybody can do it. You need only 2 things to succeed in this endeavor: your faith in you and your determination to do it well. I stands for imagination. It is the gateway to reality and the playhouse of your mind. The sky should be the limit to your realistic imagination. The greater the imagination, the greater the result. C. Develops your commitment. It gives you power and glory to your visions and your realistic dreams. It makes your dreams come true because you become committed to whatever you imagine. Takes you to affirmation. It is the foundation of your new dimension, clear direction, and proper perspective. All your committed imaginations are solidly consolidated and affirmed. You keep reminding yourself of your obligation and keep refining your goals. N. Makes you never give up. This is the firm resolution of all your real dreams and vision, leading you to success and creativity. Whatever difficulty comes in your life, you learn to forge ahead with greater enthusiasm and force. Therefore, I believe that the sentence, I can, is one of the real answers and practical solutions for all your progress and prosperity. So say, I can, to everything you want to do, and you will assure and guarantee your success. This prescription of I can will certainly provide the needed answer to your efficiency and effectiveness and assist you to motivate yourself first and then those that are unmotivated. Do not just say that, I will do my best, or I will try my best, but learn to always say I can, because this emotion will give you the necessary confidence and determination to move towards self-development. If you keep saying, I can, with full confidence and faith, then your whole body and mind get conditioned and will respond and react accordingly. Thus all your work will become challenging but possible. I found that the only prerequisite for all these is that you must have your firm belief and faith in the power of these human qualities. Your imagination must be real, and you must be fully committed to all that you imagine. Naturally, you will need to remind yourself of your realistic dreams and visions by continuously affirming and keeping your ideas alive. This will be your affirmation and may need constant reminders. There may be ups and downs before reaching the final results, but you have to learn never to give up if you want to succeed and be a leader of the future economic revolution. Some of us believe that there is always a better life in store for all of us, and we possess the power to choose to break loose from the hypnotizing forces of our negative thoughts and deeds that sometimes imprison us. We can get out of this terrible cage if we know how to use the principles of I can. However, some of us remain in that cage of ignorance and negativism and give up trying to free ourselves. Consequently, we find failure in life and work. Of course, there are many more of us who are fully geared and prepared to get out of this bondage and prison of negative thoughts. These are the successful people who are on the possible route of becoming the winners and champions. In fact, everyone can be a winner and a champion by following the 4 dynamic human qualities I have described here. You should not delay acting on this prescription, because I believe that ease brings disease. Learning to do it now will give you a lot of advantages. So a person who is out to conduct self-development becomes enlightened and self-confident. The person who seeks carefully finds success and learns to rejoice and enjoy family and work life. You can achieve great success by setting your goals right and carefully. Then be committed to your set goals through your determination in order to achieve the best results. Remember, nothing is impossible if you are willing to give it a go. The aged are not so strong but can pass their knowledge to the youth who have the strength. An old friend of mine gave this pictorial explanation to me, and it shows how we can motivate people. Those who are willing workers are already doing well, but those who are not need either coercion or incentive. Which one are you? So a person who is out to conduct self-development becomes enlightened and self-confident. The person who seeks carefully finds success and learns to rejoice and enjoy family and work life. You can achieve great success by setting your goals right and carefully. Then be committed to your set goals through your determination in order to achieve the best results. Remember, nothing is impossible if you are willing to give it a go. The aged are not so strong but can pass their knowledge to the youth who have the strength. An old friend of mine gave this pictorial explanation to me, and it shows how we can motivate people. Those who are willing workers are already doing well, but those who are not need either coercion or incentive. Which one are you? Lecture 3. Positive Thinking. We know that our minds are like parachutes. They work best when they are open. This presentation will help you to think positively if you read all these with an open mind. When I was a student at Natabua Secondary School in 1954, one of my favorite teachers, Rohan Prasad, had once given me a very simple solution for progress. He said, as a successful student, I should make my life full of adventures, and make my life an ongoing series of rich experiences. I had gone to this prestigious high school from a very simple country living and farming background, and adventures and rich experiences were very powerful and distant ideas for me. However, upon inquiry, my teacher simplified the ideas for me. He said that your entire life should be a process of setting effective goals and achieving fulfillment through realizing them. I was advised to let every new day bring a spiritual triumph to me, like the warm sun bursting through the clouds over the Mount Evans in the valley of the sleeping giants of Subito. My teacher told me to make a feature movie and let it be screened before me every day. He wanted me to be the producer, director, manager, and the main actor of that movie, but he demanded that the movie would become more realistic, relevant, and meaningful if I was also the writer, the audience, and the critic of my scenarios. This was a huge task, and naturally I hesitated. My teacher said that the whole activity was absolutely possible because I was responsible for all the images, and that was my drama and my creation. The story, he said, involved my happiness, misery, success, failures, laughter, tears, goodness, truth, beauty, and even my evil and ugliness were to be there. When I seemed negative about the project, my teacher emphasized that it was the caliber and standard of my self-image that would cause me to rise to the new heights or descend to the depressing depths. He added that even if I could not see my self-image and could not touch it, nonetheless it was very real. It was to be my big picture of myself. So through the motivational efforts of one of my best teachers, I understood that I had to make fine, big, and strong images of myself to succeed in life. The finer, the bigger, and the stronger the images I made of myself, the better would be my satisfaction, achievement, and pleasure. From then onward, I began making my images that gave me rich experiences and positive adventures. Thus, I think everyone can think positively and develop a gigantic self-image. I too learned that if I saw myself as an inferior and unworthy person, I would meet and see failures before I even made a start of anything. I began to think positively. I had a resounding urge to be a creative person. I wanted to succeed, progress, and prosper. I wanted to overcome all my problems myself when I encountered them. I was no longer a timid country boy but a student full of determination to succeed and participate in almost all the activities and opportunities that were available. I had a self-image of an excellent student, a good sports person, and a high achiever. Similarly, anyone can be enlightened and definitely become a successful person, an effective worker, an efficient leader, and an excellent student. Every person, therefore, has the legitimate human right to decide and construct one's brilliant future. The only requirement is that there must exist a strong sense of positive thinking. Everything should look possible for that person, and then he or she too can excel and be a high achiever. One should take every day as a new day of one's life and be ready to excel with positive feelings and thoughts. In fact, nothing is impossible for us if we put in our total commitment and effort to stretch beyond our limits. We must remember that in these tough times, we need to be even tougher actors, performers, and workers to witness greater success. If we find out that our very best efforts are not giving us the required results because of the tougher and harder times, then we must change our tactics, strategies, and efforts. We must promise a lot and deliver a lot more. A lot of things in life are possible if we quickly learn to develop a sound knowledge base and collect a lot of relevant and appropriate information. Nothing should be impossible for a person who believes in the idea of positive mental attitude. I believe that impossible is the dirtiest 10-letter word, whereas possibility is the most beautiful and meaningful idea in our vocabulary. We must continuously flash this powerful word on the screen of our self-image multiple times in a day to remind us that our real-life drama is moving in the right direction at the correct speed and proper precision. I know for a fact that all those people who have learned to move ahead with possibility thinking are meeting with greater success and super competence in their lives. It is the power of this possibility thinking that should give us the prescription to turn every difficult task into a possible adventure. Things may take time to give positive results, but with the power of persistence, we can overcome all difficulties. Depending on the depths of our efforts, feelings, and attitudes, we will see positive results either in minutes, hours, days, or weeks. One thing is certain, though, that we can achieve all our goals if we learn not to give up easily. Every human being has the ability to be a positive thinker. The sooner we learn to do it, the better it is for our future progress. We will need determination, dedication, discipline, and commitment. According to Vivekananda, the history of the world is the history of a few men who had faith in themselves. If you have faith in yourself, then you can do anything. You fail only when you do not strive sufficiently to manifest the infinite power of positive thinking. So it is clear that if you have been able to develop a strong faith in yourself, it definitely becomes the secret of greatness in you and your life. Therefore, it is foolish to think that there is anything impossible for the enlightened soul. Ancient Hindus developed a creed, an idea to move forward with deeper commitment and stronger determination. They called it Kalyan Vishur Shakti, which we can loosely translate as Possibility Thinker's Creed. Ever since its development, people have studied the meaning and form of this powerful creed. They have put a lot of care and a great deal of understanding to put this creed into practice. This was done largely to develop and gain courage, conviction, and command. Anybody and everybody can put the creed or the idea into practice. You may have to say this creed many times daily to instill the power of positive thinking in you, but you will not regret doing it. You will definitely achieve results. Some successful people have written this creed on a large scroll and let it hang from a prominent place on the wall of their home or office. Others have written this at least 3 times a day and passed it to their friends. Even Swami Vivekananda had his own possibility creed when he said, "Whatever you think, that you will be. If you think yourselves weak, weak you will be. If you think yourselves strong, strong you will be." Possibility Thinker's Creed. When faced with a mountain of problems, I will not quit. I will keep on striving until I climb over them, find a path through them, tunnel underneath them, or simply stay there and turn all my mountain of problems into my gold and diamond mines. If we wanted to succeed with this idea, then we too have to take some serious actions, like saying the creed loudly with our emotional commitment. We can move ahead with possibility thinking in our life and be able to move many mountains of problems. We can expect nothing great from any person of little hearts. We must have an iron will if we want to cross the wide ocean, and we must be strong enough to pierce mountains. This creed can make some difference to our entire attitude to life, work, and family. It is worth trying. You can get it if you learn to cooperate and go as a team. Wake up, stand up, be bold, be strong, and take the entire responsibility on your own shoulder to understand that you are the creator of your destiny. Make your own future look brighter and more meaningful. Lecture 4. Demand for Perfection. A motivated student once said, "I know I am not perfect, but I am so close to it that it scares me." That student moved ahead to display super academic excellence. We have heard the saying that no one is perfect, but at least we can make an effort to reach perfection. This is largely because of the belief that we are not perfect, but parts of us are beautiful, and if we use these beautiful parts, we too can move towards perfection. At many modern workplaces, we get the demand for quality control, quality assurance, and perfection. Therefore, the sooner we learn to follow that route, the better it is for all of us. Some religious sects say that there is an even better life for all of us lying somewhere ahead, or in the future, than the one we are living today. They also believe that we can achieve a lot more in our life if we understood ourselves as well as the people with whom we interact every day. This understanding will give us the urge to improve our environment and ourselves. I think that there is a cure for human weakness when we stop brooding over our weaknesses and think about our strengths. It is with that strength that lies within us that we can aim to demand perfection in ourselves. Remember to look at this world as the greatest gymnasium where people come to make themselves strong, and you are no exception. I know of an Indian proverb that says that it is the coward and the fool who says, "This is fate," but it is the strong person who stands up and says, "I will make my fate." I have found out that the road to the good living is the roughest and the steepest in this complex and difficult world. So many of us succeed and so many of us fall, but if we are able to establish strong character, we will never stumble. There is no doubt at all in my mind that we can be more successful and gradually move towards perfection if we tried harder and made greater efforts in everything we did. This strong feeling to progress in life is vital if we want to achieve more success and reach peak performance. We know the maxim "practice makes us perfect," but it is no longer true for many of us because our practice may be wrong and inappropriate, so we have to coin a new phrase for ourselves. Perfect practice makes us perfect. Learning to put perfect ideas into practice is moving ahead with motivation. It goes without saying then that we must put a command in our subconscious mind that all our skills, talents, traits, ideas, and techniques of doing all the work should be perfect at all times. In short, we must constantly and continuously try our best to skill and reskill ourselves so that we are ever ready to achieve that goal of perfection at home and at work. I have come across many people who say that there is nothing as perfect. I disagree with these negative people because by our own standards and actions, we can achieve perfection. Who is holding you to proceed in that direction? Who is telling you that there is no state as perfect? Who wants you to slow down? In most cases, the culprit is hidden inside you. It is your negative thought. It is your inability to motivate yourself. If you get rid of that negative feeling, then you can move towards perfection. These negative people are like that frog in the well. We all know the story that our kindergarten teachers told us. A frog lived in a well. It had lived there for a long time. It was born there and brought up there. It enjoyed living there and was feeling good to be on its own. Well, one day another frog that lived in the sea came and fell into the well. "Where are you from?" asked the frog of the well. I am from the sea, the new frog replied. The sea? How big is that? Is it as large as my well? And he took a leap from one side of the well to the other. My friend, said the frog from the sea, you cannot compare the big ocean with your little well. The frog of the well took another big leap and said, Is your ocean so big? You will not understand the difference, my friend, because you have not seen the ocean, reiterated the frog from the sea. Oh no, nothing can be bigger than this, you are a liar. Just get out of my well, said the frog of the well. This has always been the difficulty of our world all along. We are all sitting in our own little wells, and do not believe that there is a larger and more knowledgeable world to be perceived. If we want to be liberated and be motivated, then we must break down this barrier of this little world of ours. Let us extend our horizons and educate ourselves with new ideas and more relevant information. It is believed that we are the most enlightened of all animal species on earth, and therefore we should be superior in our knowledge, information, wisdom, and education by increasing our participation in the community we live in. We have the power to excel in everything we plan, direct, control, and do. The crucial difference between people and animals is the difference in their power of concentration. All our success in any line of work is the result of this superpower. We all react and respond to various ideas, but the demand of the modern times is to be proactive in our behavior and conduct. We must take the initiative and learn to do things right with all our might without being prompted or without any push from outside. This is moving ahead with self-motivation. There are many negative forces in and around all of us, and these negative forces unfortunately try to hold us back from moving ahead and progressing the way we want, but there are many ways to fight these negative influences. This is the main reason for our inertia. This is the greatest villain hiding within us. This is the reason for our downfall. It has to be identified, found, blamed, and destroyed if we want to participate effectively and contribute efficiently to all types of human development. Who can you blame for your failures and downfalls? It is your fear. It is your shyness. It is your uncertainty. It is your ignorance. All these bring threats and weaknesses to you. Fear is your strongest enemy. Shyness is your sin. However, courage is one of the most powerful human qualities that would help you to overcome these problems. Get self-motivated and collect your courage to move ahead in life. You too can proceed towards perfection. If you are lagging behind in any field, then it is because you have gradually become an impossible thinker. This is your real oppressive power that draws you away from trying to become a perfect performer. You can definitely get out of this negative thinking if you push yourself towards knowledge, wisdom, and information. I am confident that the world is ready to give up all its secrets, if we only know how to knock the right door and how to give it the necessary blow. There are people among us who very quickly abandon a good idea because they have seen something wrong with it. They quickly put a sound plan away because they think that it will not work. All plans and ideas have value and can be moderated or revised according to your needs. When you find something wrong with an organization, an institution, a tradition, or any person, do not reach a quick conclusion that the whole thing is useless and will not work for anybody. It is often found that the whole thing can work perfectly well with a slight modification. In fact, with that modification, it can become a better idea. So let us quickly learn to appreciate all things and ideas around us. We can build our bridges of progress on these good points that are hidden. There is goodness in everything if we looked at them carefully. The whole thing cannot be useless, and we cannot just write it off straight away without giving it a second thought. It all depends on how we perceive and see it. There may be more positive value in them than we have been able to assess at the first glance or observation. In case of the slightest doubt, we must discuss the total value of those ideas with friends and family members dispassionately and without any prejudice. This will enable us to weigh the worthiness of them as against their shortcomings. This is how you can learn to differentiate and proceed toward perfection. People who accept an idea that holds at least some possibility of goodness definitely know how to amend, modify, qualify, and alter them to suit their situation. They do not simply throw away the ideas because someone has said that they would not work. They give the ideas a go and try them out. After washing and cleaning the baby, we do not throw out the baby with the dirty water, do we? The baby has emerged clean, but the water that has become dirty in the process has to be thrown away. Similarly, if you have used your intelligence to modify an idea and are happy with the refined, clearer, and more appropriate ideas and solutions, then you must anoint, decorate, and beautify them, and only throw away those that do not work for you. The hope of the modern world rests in people who are demanding perfection from all their words, deeds, and thoughts. Most of us are not able to do great things, but we definitely can do small things in a great way. This is for sure if we put our mind to our work. Let us seriously consider the many golden opportunities that knock on your door every day, and yet many of us are not able to consider, recognize, and use these to our advantage. This requires you to gather all your strengths and go out to grab the opportunities that are moving around you. Some of us are not able to do this because we face multiple threats and have our own unique weaknesses. Remember that winning comes to the people who are motivated to move ahead without any fear. When your fear is removed, your strengths increase, and you are able to kill the threats and finish all your weaknesses easily. The result is that you are able to take advantage of all the opportunities that exist in front of you. The diagram above has 4 concentric circles. Our whole life can be explained using these 4 circles that depict 4 human qualities. They are opportunities, threats, weaknesses, and strengths. We face these qualities in our life many times. Our strengths can become the largest of our success factors if we are able to take full advantage of all the opportunities that knock on our door. However, in between our opportunities and strengths, we have 2 very negative factors creating havoc for us, and they are our weaknesses and threats. If you destroy your lovely dreams and useful visions, then the blame must rightfully go to you, because you are the destroyer and therefore solely responsible for holding yourself from progress and prosperity. So learn to treasure your dreams and visions, because they may be useful in the future. However, if this happens, then you alone should correct the situation by getting out of this predicament. There is no doubt at all that you too can be free by liberating yourself and thinking positively. Human beings are definitely capable of performing multiple miracles. Many others have done this before, and it is your turn now. Stand up and be counted among the very best around you. Let me show you how you can do this. Let us go back to the diagram. It is a given fact that we have many opportunities lying around us, and we always have the necessary strengths hidden within us. By doing the duty or work that is nearest to us and is in our hands now, we make ourselves stronger. By concentrating on our current accomplishments, we can improve our strength step by step. This is where we learn to select our opportunities. We cannot build our strength if we greedily jump on every opportunity that we get. We must learn to grade and assess our opportunities and take advantage of the ones that suit us most and the ones that will give us greater benefits. The sad thing is that we also have threats and weaknesses making their pressures felt. Obviously, we can make our opportunities grow bigger if we reduced our threats and weaknesses. If there are no threats and weaknesses, then our opportunities will be as large as our strengths. The next diagram illustrates this point. If you are able to take away the darker shades of threats and weaknesses, then you certainly can fill the gap with your opportunities when you use your strengths. This is the secret of your self-motivation and the result of your performance. We have the power and capabilities to create great and miraculous actions every time we respond with positive feelings and are proactive in our approach. So let us learn to increase our strengths and enlarge our opportunities. To attain good progress and greater success, it is important that we detect our threats and weaknesses gradually and act confidently to eliminate them one by one. How can you do this? There are many ways to tackle this, but let me give you one solid method to start your journey. You must begin with a vision, a dream, and a definite goal. Then use the 4 mathematical formulae of add, subtract, divide, and multiply your ideas. Select the best one and be committed to achieving the best results. Firstly, you must learn to divide all your difficulties, problems, threats, and weaknesses in groups of the least to the most threatening. Then try to conquer the least threatening ones one by one. Gradually progress to attack the harder ones later. Secondly, you must multiply all your existing and future possibilities, solutions, and workable ideas in your mind and use them to your advantage. The more the possibilities, the better the attack. The clearer the solution, the stronger the actions. The bigger the idea, the smoother the progress. Then, remember to continuously detect and subtract all your negative feelings, thoughts, and ideas. Lastly, add a lot of enthusiasm, courage, excitement, initiative, and confidence into all your activities. There will be no power in this world that can stop you from becoming stronger to get rid of all your threats and weaknesses and take full advantage of all your opportunities. Thus you too will be able to improve the quality of your work, your life, and all your general contributions. You too will be able to speed up all your activities and deliveries. Of course, all your work could then be done at a much lower cost because you will be able to push down all the unnecessary expenses and learn to economize. There is no doubt at all in my mind that everyone can then develop a stronger sense of achievement and participation in all family life. Then without doubt you will be fully prepared to perform and present yourself with dignity and pride. In fact, I have found out that my 5P formula has been a great success for me. Proper preparation prevents poor presentation. Therefore, the greater your initial preparation and effort, the better your presentations become at all fronts in life and at work. Once you begin to try these methods, then the other ideas of self-motivation, progress, and prosperity will automatically become second nature for you. Then you do not only become energized, but you will be the most enlightened and enthusiastic person ever, ready to find many new future directions easily. Your route to the 21st century will then be a smooth highway where you will be able to accelerate your success and enjoy your life to the fullest. I have given you a few ideas, but there are many that you can now find out for yourself. I found out early in my life that to give ourselves the best possible chance of doing anything to our fullest potential, we must prepare for every eventuality, and that means a lot of practice. Freedom to think big. Before I start this presentation, let me warn you that people with open minds must be careful these days. There are a lot of others around intent on throwing rubbish into them. Then we have to do a lot of cleaning up. Let me assure you, though, that imprisoned within your subconsciousness, there are vast opportunities that have not had the chance to be fully realized because of your threats and weaknesses. It is by using our fullest strength that we can expand and enlarge our opportunities. Opportunities are like birds that never perch, so we must keep them flying high to get the most satisfaction and freedom. We also know that there is no other human force greater than our power to think. So we have the innate propensity to work loose and free ourselves from the mental cage and begin to dream, visualize, and imagine reaching greater happiness, complete bliss, and total enlightenment. If you can control your thinking and your vision, then it is possible to free yourself from fear. It is indeed sad to note that many people have over the years developed a fear of failure within themselves, and this seems to be their greatest shortcoming and difficulty. In order to move ahead with vigor and pride, we need to completely destroy this fear right now. This will give you the freedom to think big and achieve greater success. This fear within you blocks your dynamic creativity. This is the villain hidden inside you that holds you in the cage and does not let you fly to reach your goals. You are thus locked up, and are unable to find a way out toward new directions. There are many opportunities glaringly looking at you, but you are not able to take full advantage of these because of your fear and uncertainty. You have to look at yourself inwards and unlock yourself to take your fear of failure out of you at once. The minute you can eliminate your fear of failure and begin to aim higher and think big, you will be freed from your mental cage. Your brain will then throw out millions of brilliant sparks and mammoth thoughts that will prepare you to face the world head-on without any difficulty. Many successful people have been liberated and have reached fantastic heights and glaring success in their life by just sheer concentration and discipline. They have won many battles of life. They have made significant progress. They will continue to win. There is no reason you cannot do the same. Not to win is not a sin, but to fear winning is definitely a sin. A successful person wants to solve many of the problems immediately, because these problems can dissolve all visions and good thoughts. Finding immediate solutions to all your problems gives you an opportunity to be more creative and resolute. You gain confidence and get more determined to move ahead with added vigor. This is why I say that all your opportunities are like the birds that never perch. These opportunities are always flying around you, so there is no reason to have a wait-and-see attitude. Get up and go. I was lucky to have some very professional teachers while I was at school. In my final years of high school, my teacher, Parshuram, advised me to take care of my today and let my visions and imaginations take charge of my future life. He said that my today should be the beginning of a new adventure if I wanted to move ahead with determination tomorrow. I needed to build a firm foundation today if I wanted my tomorrow to begin giving benefits to me. It took me no time at all to follow this direction to control my today properly to make my tomorrow more exciting and more rewarding. I knew my tomorrow would bring better results for me because I was fully prepared today. I developed powerful self-confidence and was able to set myself free from fear of the future. Many years ago, my wife and I were out on our evening walk on the beach. There we saw a fisherman at the jetty. He pulled out a large fish, measured it, and then threw it back into the sea. After a while, he caught a second fish, smaller this time, measured it again, and then put it in his basket. Any fish that measured more than 30 centimeters, he threw it back into the sea, but kept all those that were smaller. Naturally, this behavior puzzled me, and I quietly questioned the fisherman with curiosity. Why do you keep the smaller ones in your bag and throw the larger ones back into the sea? He explained that his frying pan at home only measured 30 centimeters across. We concluded that this was what many people did in their real-life situation. They throw away the bigger and brighter ideas. They discard the most beautiful dreams that come into their mind simply because their experiences are limited. Their self-confidence is too underdeveloped to enable them to grab hold of the bigger and better opportunities and suggestions that come before them. We all have profound capacity and capability to liberate ourselves from our locked mental cages and work free from narrow and limited experiences. We just have to learn to aim high, find firmer objectives, and develop clearer goals in order to accommodate bigger and brighter ideas. God has given us the needed strength and intelligence to try to solve many of our problems either ourselves or through interaction, assistance, and cooperation of others around us. The very moment we learn to seek, we shall find the answers and solutions to our difficulties and problems. Some of us are very lucky to have good teachers, wise elders, and faithful friends who continuously encourage us to extend our horizons, enlarge our experiences, and develop our self-confidence. These activities encourage us to take hold of all the big and small ideas that generate within us so that we can take advantage of all the opportunities that knock loudly on our doors. If we grab these chances at the right time, then we excel and meet many successes. If we do not, then we meet disaster and failure. The choice is yours. Trying your best may not be enough to meet the many increasing challenges of modern times. You may have to try and try again and be fully convinced that you can do it. My father once told me to grow up with a vision to think big. He said one thing all human beings should remember was that big things happen to people who think big and are prepared to take risks. In fact, I soon learned that nothing big happens to the people who think little. And from then onwards, I made up my mind that I too was going to become the person I wanted to be. A few failures did not ever deter me to give up. It did not take me long to believe that it was definitely possible to begin immediately to discover new things and gather more beautiful ideas. The more successes I was able to meet, the greater was my belief that I was moving ahead toward progress and prosperity. This affirmed my belief that my pathway was brilliant and I was moving in the right direction. It meant that I alone was my savior. I was to wake up, get up and arise to move ahead in life and seek solutions to my problems. I had to get out of the locked cage so that I became free to act. Nothing was going to stop me because I became capable of doing great things and performing great deeds. I felt that I could create miracles because my body and mind were working in harmony. My prime duty was to release the power within me and become the person I wanted to be. I learned to have a correct vision of my future, and I became energetic, enthusiastic, and motivated. I was ready to move mountains of trouble if they arose and bothered me. So let me reiterate that all the people who have seen success in their lives say I can. And yes, too many ideas that came to their mind. Nothing was impossible for them. They have never blocked any helpful thoughts and obstructed workable plans. They were always prepared to take risks. Those successful people have never waited by the roadside for the coconuts to fall and roll up to them, but they have always speedily climbed up the tallest tree to persistently pick the ripe fruit at the most appropriate time. We often find that there are too many people among us who continuously pray for all the mountains of difficulty to be removed from their life. What they really need is to collect the courage to climb that mountain and eradicate the difficulties. I know for certain that if you decide to move ahead and put your best foot forward with the right attack, you will always meet success. You must and will win all the battles of your life. Lecture 7. The Real Winners. There are many different kinds of people around us, but I am going to talk about the two special types of people living among us. The first ones are those who dislike work and so have the tendency to avoid all hard work. They can only perform if they are coerced, controlled, directed, punished, and given threats. Then, there are the second type, the ones who love to automatically put in and show their peak performance at all times. They love to work harder and find new paths and challenging directions. They are the thrill seekers and the high achievers who go ahead to become real champions, heroes, and the real winners. All of us have these choices in front of us in our life. We could take the route we want and follow it. So you have the choice to self-motivate yourself to be the real winner, but you could also be the one who needs to be pushed and reminded to perform your daily tasks. Then you will be the loser, and we are not going to talk about the losers. Let us talk about the real winners. If you choose to be the real winner, then all the champions of the world expect you to put in a lot of hard work consistently. Hard work always pays excellent dividends. By working hard, you have the choice to reach your goals easily and certainly. Let us tarry a little and visualize who we can rightfully call a winner in these trying and competitive times. There are as many interpretations of the word winner as there are thoughts and ideas. If you begin to firmly believe that you are a winner, then you will always be a real winner. The real winners find time and work harder at all times. There are no excuses, no procrastination, and no delays, but just an urge to move ahead positively and persistently. Have pride in their organization or the institution they work in, and love their work thoroughly. They find total fulfillment in their work and are able to establish complete faith and hope in their enterprise or institution. Develop a variety of courage to go to the problem straight away without any delay. Make many firm commitments and continuously affirm them. I can do IT becomes I will do IT, and then finally the feeling of I did IT completes their tasks. Know the difference between the times to fight and the times to give away. No one can keep pressing at one speed always. You will have to slow down at busy intersections, bends, and crowded places. You can speed up cautiously on clear and straight highways. Establish strong friendly feelings with everyone. If you have many faithful friends, your commitment and confidence increase, and you get inspired at every step you take. Read intensively, listen very carefully, and put all gathered information into good practice. These readings, listening, and practicing will give you the needed tools for effective communication. If you have the ability to communicate effectively and efficiently at work and in life, then you can out-negotiate anyone or any situation. Give a lot of respect to the strengths of colleagues who have the capacity to provide us with enthusiasm, excitement, courage, wisdom, and suggestions. Learn from the wisdom and experiences of others. Our regular association with others to use their wisdom and experiences will definitely enrich our life. Explain all the actions taken and activities done by them with pride to everyone who wants to know these. We can only explain these well if we knew the what, where, when, how, and why of our activities. Feel responsible and accountable for every action taken and work done by him or her. You have to be honest with everyone and everything you do. Set their own workable goals and move forward with determination at their own calculated pace. They know that goal setting is not that easy because apart from determination and concentration, they require diligence and skills to achieve their goals and objectives. Use all the time available to improve quality and learn to do the right thing at the right time. They do things right as well as do the right things at all times. Take faster action and have no fear of making mistakes. They never repeat their mistakes and learn lessons from all their mistakes. Understand themselves and the people they deal with properly. Self-understanding is the key to understanding other people and property. Control all the actions, costs, and situations because without control all progress would become chaotic. Real winners learn to do a lot more in less time and with fewer things. These winning tips should release you from all bondage and give you the freedom to reach out for new routes and directions in life. So definitely you too can be a winner. Lecture 8. Understanding our own life and the life of our workers. There's a saying that goes like this: life is like a 10-speed bike. Most of us have gears we never use. Of course, when we do our needs analysis, we find that there are many unmotivated workers among us who need to be fully understood to provide them with the necessary tools to shine in their performance. Proper and deeper studies of our people, places, procedures, principles, and priorities have always provided us many right answers and solutions for our progress and prosperity. Through our studies, we come to know the different types of individuals that we confront every day at our workplace. Some of our workers are commanders, some are drifters, and yet we find that there are those that are drifters. Of course, there are real performers, attackers, builders, and analytical. But we should be careful with those that love to please, who are avoiders of work, and who are the negative thinkers. After you are able to find all the types of people you have in your workforce, you then group them and prepare different and appropriate prescriptions for their skilling and development. Give them repeated training using a variety of methods. Then the life of your workmates would definitely be transformed to your satisfaction. Remember not to get frustrated and never give up. Monitor the situations and the progress of your people to make the training and development of their life effective, relevant, and efficient. Keep saying the mantra of I can. Once you begin to think positively and develop an urge to be a winner, your life is ready to bring changes for you, your friends, and your family. We need to properly understand our life, because our life has to be long, interesting, fruitful, and exciting. According to Bhagavad Gita, a Hindu religious scripture, human life has many explanations, interpretations, and meanings. The more we know about human life, the better we will be able to conduct all the needed activities of our life. Let me try to translate the meaning and essence of life for you. One thing that should never escape our thinking when looking at our life is that these explanations are based on the vital principles of humanity, which are truth, beauty, and goodness. Life is an adventure, and we are constantly asked to be brave enough to face it and learn to dare it at all times. If we do, we become wiser. Life has to be taken as a beautiful platform and panoramic scenery to be admired, appreciated, and praised. The world becomes a beautiful place to live. Life is a challenge for all human beings with a stronger determination to meet it head on without any fear or shame. We gather a lot of courage to do things our way. Life has to be looked at as a series of duties, to be performed by everyone with the fullest competence and effectiveness. We begin performing well at all times. Life, if taken as an intelligent game, can provide many winning opportunities for all of us if we knew how to properly play our individual roles and behave in our respective positions well. We play our parts well and act with dignity. Life, for many of us, is a gift from God, and those of us who accept it as such will be able to make it even better and brighter by putting in our best performance in everything we do. We thank God for giving us that precious gift. Life has been regarded as an ultimate goal for everyone to excel and achieve the best possible results. If we tried harder every time we made an effort, we become high achievers. Life is a long journey for us to learn to complete it with total pride, honor, and deep commitment. We keep moving ahead with self-motivation. Life is a mystery for many people, but if they are fully prepared to unfold it intelligently, then they can reap the greatest benefits from it. We are able to solve a lot of our problems with ease. Life has and offers many opportunities, and those of us who are ready and eager to take full advantage of these can and will always succeed. We believe in our self-image. Life offers a variety of promises, and we could all win if we knew how to fulfill all of these and deliver even more than what we promise ourselves, our friends, relatives, and family members. We flourish in our community. Life for some people is a complicated puzzle, but those of us who try to seek workable solutions can lead a happy living and harmonious existence. There is no confusion for us. Life is full of music. It is a melodious song and a very peaceful tune. If we can decode that music, sing that song, and understand that tune, we are ready to enjoy the peace and prosperity that prevails around us. We rejoice and rejuvenate. Life can also be covered with many sad events and sorrows, and if we are fully prepared to learn the ways to overcome these, then we can progress and prosper. We live with hope and faith. Life is a spirit for us to get together and realize it. This gives us our team spirit, good character, and feeling. We learn to cooperate and control our destiny. Life is full of struggles, and we must continuously move ahead with stronger determination and commitment to get the best out of our efforts. We persevere. Life can be a tragedy if we are not able to meet our obligations carefully and honestly. We shall overcome. Life is an easy path to salvation if we knew our future directions and looked for pure pathways ahead. We will find peace and harmony in our daily living. Life demands us to be righteous, humane, and useful to everyone if we want to live happily. We learn to interact with kindness and spread the message of love. If our life has such a majestic list of interpretations, then we ought to take our life seriously and find ways and means to self-motivate ourselves so that we can be useful and helpful to our country, our community, and the society as a whole. Definitely similar interpretations of life can be found in all religious scriptures for us to seek and find. I seriously think that the be-all and end-all of life should not only be to get rich, but to enrich the world. Philosophers have told us loud and clear that life is 10% what you make it, and 90% how you take it. Take life seriously and enjoy. We will definitely find ways and means to motivate all your unmotivated workmates. Lecture 9. Let us be creative. An important issue that we wish to discuss here is creativity, which is our ability and power to make our own life easier through our own initiative, intelligence, and imagination. To be creative is to be able to make things, invent ideas, and develop principles that can be used to your advantage. There are many ways to develop this vital skill, but we will look at the best 10 methods that can be practiced easily by everyone who is willing and disciplined to do so. Our Creator has given us the power of creativity, and we need to open the valve of that instrument. 1. Have full confidence in your ability to do things on your own. It has been a proven fact that our brain has vast untapped potential, which can be developed and utilized further. 2. Use your subconscious mind by clearly defining your goals and immediately beginning to work on these. Let your subconscious mind chew over these objectives even while you are sleeping or resting. You can then blast all your problems and find the solutions easily. 3. Gather as many effective ideas as you can by being adventurous and forthright. Think clearly and prioritize them. It is believed that often a crazy idea has great potential. The likelihood of finding a solution is greatly increased if we have a large ideas bank or a think tank of people and friends. 4. Develop the power of persistence and keep returning to your initial goals and objectives. Look at your problem seriously from various conceivable angles and give them your full concentration. 5. Choose the right time of the day to do all your creative work. If you are tired and worn out, then your mind will not be able to be as productive as you like it to be. Therefore, you will probably slog away with very few good results. 6. Feed your mind with new, fresh, and valuable information constantly and consistently. The ideas and thoughts of other people will certainly stimulate your own thinking. Read widely, discuss extensively, and seek new information. 7. Systematize your thinking time. It is a waste of time if ideas are allowed to just free float through your mind and are never properly recorded in any permanent and usable form. It is suggested by many successful people that you keep an ideas book or a folder to file away all your beautiful and creative thoughts for future reference. 8. Talk freely and openly to other people because your friends, workmates, and colleagues may be able to provide you with fresh talking points, which can assist you to develop new and finer thought patterns. Often we are far too close to our problems to be able to clearly see the forest for the trees. 9. Always work to a deadline. Set your date to seek your solutions. Nothing kills your enthusiasm faster than insecurity and aimlessness. If you must arrive at a solution by a set time and date, then this will motivate you to keep moving in that direction with firm desire. 10. Always keep an ideas net with you because great ideas often surface unexpectedly. Catch all your ideas as soon as they emerge. The best way to lose a brilliant idea is to fail to catch it at the right time and record it for future use. If we followed the above suggestions wisely and added a few of our own to these, then it is more than likely that we would be able to develop the power of creativity within us and our workforce. However, it is worth remembering that creativity in us can be developed with constant practice. So if we tried to spend about 15 minutes a day thinking of new ideas that we can apply to achieve our goals and to succeed at work, then our progress, competence, and performance would all be effective and assured. Remember that we should never try to squelch and crush any creative ideas only because no one has ever succeeded in perfecting them before. Give a go to all potentially good suggestions, and your future will look brighter. For me, it has always been a sin to discard a plan or a project just because someone said that it would not work. I put that plan into practice first, and then find out for myself whether it is worth trying. No progressive person ever quits just because one has reached the end of the road. There is no end to the road of human progress and development. Something more constructive and creative can be and must be done always by planning and controlling all our activities. So you too can become more creative and let all your dreams come true, but you should immediately start dreaming intelligently while you are fully awake. Be sure to make all your dreams really big and bright enough so that the whole world could clearly see and visualize them. Let these goals, ideas, dreams, and visions grow, expand, explode, and branch out. Creativity is like a treasure hunt. You need to ask yourself a lot of open-ended questions and then track down the right answers. There may be multiple answers to your one question, and you may have to be selective in accepting the most reasonable answer. Even your answers can raise further questions, but you should never give up. Keep moving because you are moving in the right direction. Develop your imagination and assess your subconscious mind. Be curious and have a passion to do something special and specific. Creativity is doing rather than being, so go out and discover things for yourself and achieve miracles. Remember also that your creativity, your questions, your discovery, and your achievements will lead you to your goals, your objectives, and your targets. You will definitely be motivated to keep moving ahead in life. You can discover many talents within you if you become creative. There are many hidden power within you. Seek and ye shall find. Lecture 10. Your natural drive. There is your God-given drive present within you. It is your inspiration. It is your will to do things on your own. It is your initiative to get up and go. Many motivational speakers have said that tool of individual success is made up of a sentence that has 10 two-letter words. If it is to be, it is up to me. This is a great tool. This 10 two-letter word sentence was the gift of one of my favorite teachers, and it has given me all the inspiration that I needed to succeed in life. It was my power to stand up and be counted in the community. It was my confidence builder. It was my self-esteem and my enthusiasm to do the right things at the right time. This was the first step that began my journey of many miles. With the help of this mantra, naturally, I developed a unique faith in me. I began to visualize my own potential. I had an unwavering belief in my own human powers and qualities when I realized the true value and strength of this idea. I began to repeat this small and simple sentence many times a day so that it kept generating the needed energy within me and giving me the push to carry on believing in my capabilities. Whenever there was a slight lull or a small problem in my progress and my life, this helpful tool provided me with multiple energies and boosters of enthusiasm and excitement. I was constantly motivated and kept moving ahead with speed. Another supplementary tool of my success was a poem that I studied at school. It was called If by an unknown poet. I do not know how many times I have recited this poem aloud in my life to inspire and motivate me. It has done miracles for me, and I am sure if you too can fill your inner self with the power of this poem, then you too would benefit tremendously. If you think you are beaten, you are. If you think you dare not, you don't. If you like to win, but you think you can't, it is almost certain that you won't. If you think you'll lose, you're lost. For out of this world we find, success begins with a fellow's will. It is all in the state of mind. If you think you're outclassed, you are. You've got to think high to rise. You've got to be sure of yourself before you can ever win a prize. Life's battles don't always go to the strongest or the fastest man, but sooner or later the one who wins is the one who thinks he can. Anon. After reading this meaningful poem, you must seriously reconsider your own natural drive. Look for that drive now, and when you find it, then you should have the key to open any door of your life. You become the key to your own success. You are the most important person for your own progress and prosperity. Gradually you will find out that the first prize or the top award does not always go to the most talented person. While the most talented ones win and succeed, others who try harder and want to do the same can also achieve the same results. So the person who wins and succeeds is the one who is absolutely certain that he can. The one who begins to work harder from the start and tries to continue with full interest and persistence surely succeeds. If anyone thinks that he/she has limited talents, skills, and techniques to perform well for own progress, then I strongly feel that they need to rethink. They can be proved wrong. One of the moments of truth is that we have the essential gift from God to do anything that we really and truly wanted and seriously desired in life. No one or nothing can stop you if you have the urge to move ahead with vigor. The other major truth is that we all have a great drive, a powerful determination, and a burning desire hidden somewhere in our subconscious mind, and when activated, this will easily compensate us for all our limitations. We must immediately start looking for this power, this unique capacity, this human capability, and this secret of modern living. This is our hidden talent that we have to quickly search carefully and find it ourselves. Activate this now, and you will never regret. There is absolutely no reason why everyone cannot do this. You must find the gift that is hidden within you. I can give you a few guidelines to start the ball rolling. We all have problems in our lives and face many challenges, but the person who converts all these into opportunities turns out to be better prepared to face all difficulties. Opportunities are always there, as beautiful as the birds that are flying with good style and fair speed. Capture these with determination and courage. All individuals are unique in their abilities, and you may not be perfect, but you have parts within you that are beautiful and usable. These must be fully used to develop our skills so that our performance is effective and efficient for us. Do not compare yourself with others, but just do your best. If you are happy with your performance, then nothing else matters. Inch by inch, everything becomes a certainty, and you begin to love your achievements. This process of human development is gradual, but it is certain if you are serious. Let me tell you that there is nothing impossible for an energetic, dedicated, and committed young person. For a positive thinker, impossible is the dirtiest word. You will definitely succeed if you can get the real feeling of in all your triumph. We all have been told that the man-made computers perform unbelievable tasks for us, but we forget we are the nature-made computers capable of performing a lot more miracles. Our brain is the greatest computer on earth and can perform many tasks, so we have to use it to our advantage. The time to begin is now, because time and tide wait for no one. Our natural drives are our gift, and with our human energy, we are capable of doing better each day we wake up in the morning. Remember to see that you have the right direction and the correct path in front of you. Just love whatever you are doing and do it well. I love this poem, and I am sure this would provide more meaning to you, that we do have the greatest gift from nature, and that is our determination to start anew. When doubts and fears are growing, it's hard to keep on going from day to day not knowing just what the end will be. Take each day as you find it. If things go wrong, don't mind it, for each day leaves behind it a chance to start anew. Anon. Lecture 11. Proper planning pays. Proper planning not only pays, but also is vital to all types of human activities and achievements. In fact, proper planning assists us in getting the work completed effectively as well as efficiently. It also motivates us to keep moving ahead at the right pace and in the right direction. Planning for all your work and lifestyle activities enables you to decide why, how, when, what, and where these can be performed in the best possible way. Once you have all these ideas, then success is guaranteed. In simple terms, planning is to look into the future and prepare for all your activities carefully and with sound judgment. Naturally, a lot of thinking has to go into this task because we must be certain of our results. 3 important questions have to be considered seriously. What activities are we going to do? What results are we expecting? What is the best way of doing these? It is now easy to understand that proper planning is one of the prime ways of solving our difficult problems. We have to look to the future with hope, belief, trust, and faith. Then what appears to be an impossible task can become a temporary roadblock to ingenuity if proper planning is not done before attempting to solve the problem. Of course, with the help of your people, your own actions, all the available facts, and your powerful imagination, you can attack the problem head-on and then take the correct route to prosperity. The point is that more new directions have to be found for planning ahead. Your own effort, time, and diligence have to be improved in order to plan effectively if you want to meet the oncoming challenges and the changes in future developments. But always remember that you are the person in charge of your future, your destiny, and your entire activity. Therefore, you must prepare your plan and ably fit into it. Your work and life must be controlled according to your plan. Some adjustments would be needed to meet the changing situations and unforeseen circumstances, but you must quickly learn to follow your plan with precision. I have always believed that if my plan is well done, then the rest of my tasks become easier and manageable. However, no plan is set in concrete and is absolutely final, because the more reviews and revisions you do to your plans, the finer they become, and then the execution of your plan is more successful. In my life and at various workstations, I have used 5 steps to do my planning. 1. Identify my target. 2. Set a unit of performance measurement. 3. Set the required output standard. 4. Identify the indicators of deviation. 5. Install an appropriate control function. Firstly, it is important to set your objectives and know quite clearly what has to be done and what is the time frame of your tasks. Secondly, it pays to set the standard of performance and productivity where you get your resources right. These are your own and other skills available, the needed equipment and materials, and the funds needed to implement the plan. Thirdly, some understanding of workflow is vital. You must know where your work comes from and where is it heading. Fourthly, remember to keep a contingency plan ready if things do not work according to your plan. Alternatives, possibilities of postponement, deferment, and prioritizing are important for the success of your plan. Finally, some control is needed to ensure that time, cost, quality, and quantity are not compromised. Some people establish and follow a preset plan and pattern of development for work and life, whereas others, who are more motivated individuals, prepare a written plan. Whichever one you want to follow, there are a few points to remember if you want your plan to be successful. You must know and write down: 1. What must be done and by when? 2. Who will do it? 3. What materials are needed? 4. What actions are required? One of my teachers once said that when you are up to your knees in alligators, it is difficult to remember that your main objective is to drain the swamp. So be like me, and do not let the pressure of immediate problems make you lose sight of your real aims and goals. This is why I emphasize that proper planning ahead of time is so important for everyone who wants to be successful. Proper planning pays if you can exploit the 4 M's of success and use the 4 O's formula. You will avoid all your failures if you fully understood the values of man, money, method, and material of your plan, and then out-motivate, out-negotiate, out-manage, and outsell your ideas. It is important to know the full potential, attitude, capacity, talent, skill, and knowledge of the people involved in your plan of action. Availability and control of money needed to make the plan work is also important. Of course, your methods of executing your plan and doing things must be clear and well understood. If you use proper and appropriate methods, then the result of your planning will not be faulted. Other materials that you need to plan your activities have to be scrutinized and utilized well. Waste not, and want not may be the best policy in your efforts to plan properly. Having settled your issues of man, money, method, and material, you need to find ways and means of out-motivating yourself and the people involved in your plan. If your money and material are not up to scratch, you need to out-negotiate and convince your sources to grant your needs. Then it may become necessary to outsell your method by using convincing techniques, effective communication, and precise information. Your planning would then be proper and would definitely give you good results, but remember to continuously audit all your plans in order to achieve the best results. Always keep this advice in your mind when you are doing your planning. The distance a person goes is not as important as the direction. Lecture 12. The Power of Imagination. How can our own imagination change our life? This is one of the vital questions I have asked myself many times, and my answers have always surprised me. Our own imagination is a precious gift for us because we can use it wisely to achieve excellent results for our development. I have found out that imagination is a curious mixture of complexities and contradictions, and it overflows with possibilities. I was trained as a teacher at Nazi New Teachers College in Fiji, and after a lapse of 30 years, I met a few of my colleagues from my college days at a reunion dinner. Most of them looked gray and old and had silvery hair. They had wrinkled foreheads, and their physical youth had escaped a little. We greeted each other and had a lot of useful conversations. One of them, who was a good friend of mine, could not resist the change in me and showed some surprise with a comment that made me think deeply. He said, "Ram, you have aged." Naturally, his comments would have hurt somebody who was still in his 50s and was being told that so was looking old. However, he did not hurt my feelings because he stated the truth. I was definitely over 50 and was beginning to look older. What intrigued me, though, was his imagination. In his own imagination, he was still young at his age of 50, whereas I had aged at the same age. That is what counted a lot for him, and I was pleased with his feeling about himself. Then I met another of my mates from the same gathering who, after some discussion, said that he too would have succeeded like me, but it was unfortunate that he did not get a chance. I did not want to offend him for his ignorance and lack of motivation, but I told him that I succeeded in my life because I created my own chances and opportunities myself, and I went ahead and took full advantage of those at all times. I advised him to create his own chances as well and make use of all his opportunities by fully utilizing and exploiting his imagination. The point I am making is that we cannot crawl around on our knees to reach the year 2020 and go beyond into the 22nd century. We should feel gratified that God has granted us the ability to be able to go wild with our imagination and dreams and do things positively. Therefore, we must get rid of all our negative feelings and accept ourselves as a person who came into this world to succeed. Let us quickly and conveniently forget what went wrong yesterday, and let us live positively from today onwards. We are no longer shy little persons of 4 or 5 years of age running in and around the house to hide when unknown visitors came into our front yard. We are grown-ups, brave and confident people, ready and fit to face everything at any time. When I was working as a training manager, I came across a young shy sales lady at a training session of salespersons. She said that her poor performance was related to the lack of courage to face her sophisticated customers. I decided to develop self-confidence and courage in her by saying that all these skills come to us by trying. Even if we get hurt, fail, or lose, one thing we must never forget, and that is the idea of trying. We must never fail to try, and then keep trying, and then try again, because William Edward Hickson gave us the saying, "If at first you don't succeed, try, and try again." I always feel that as greatness consists of trying to be great, so courage and confidence come to people who try to be brave and confident. We have to build our courage and confidence with our own motivation. We act, feel, and perform our duties and responsibilities with our own motivation, our own imagination, and our own potential. We can control all these because it is within our power to do so. We must develop strong willpower. Our imagination and our willpower are the powerhouses of our body, mind, and soul. They have the capacity to set and create many successful events for us. They can propel us to accelerated achievements. My early objective was to find new meaning in life and strengthen my self-image through the reactivation of my automatic servo mechanism. I was able to do this through positive imagination. My father, as well as one of my teachers, made me fit for use by telling me that I must learn to stick my neck out if I wanted to progress, because they said that a turtle never makes progress until it sticks its neck out. That was exactly what I did, and I began to progress. At age 15, my imagination was a storehouse of negative thoughts, which led me to worry a lot and constantly be agitated. I had a fear of talking in class, but I could write reasonable answers to my examination questions. As soon as I stood in front of the class or any audience, I forgot everything and froze. How did I overcome this deficiency? My father was a village headman, and whenever there was any community gathering, he was asked to say a few words to inspire people. However, one day when he was asked to speak at a social gathering, he told the people that his son would replace him and say a few words that day. I could not let my father down, nor could I disobey him, so I had to stand up and speak. I imagined that everyone sitting in the audience was ignorant about what I was going to tell them. I imagined that I had a religious book in front of me and was reading from it to the people. After about 10 minutes, when I stopped speaking, amidst the clapping of the audience, I felt the tap of my father's powerful hand on my shoulder, and I knew that I had lived up to his expectations. This episode developed my self-confidence because I used my imagination positively. That night, while walking home, my father gave me some very valuable lessons in the art of effective communication. Good communication would result if we spoke concisely, confidently, and clearly. He gave me the most powerful skill of public speaking when he told me to 1. Stand up so that the audience can see you properly. 2. Speak up so that the audience can hear you well. 3. Sit down when you have nothing more to say. Whenever I used this lesson, my audience enjoyed my presentations and felt happy. Whatever is imagined in the inner space of our minds lays a solid groundwork for us in reality. We become what we think. This is the power of imagination. Now, and here is our opportunity to go wild with our imagination. Some poet has given us a lot to ponder. There is a tide in the affairs of men, which, taken at the flood, leads on to fortune omitted. All the voyage of their life is bound in shallows and in miseries. On such a full sea are we now afloat, and we must take the current when it serves, or lose our ventures. Lecture 13. Learn to direct yourself. Directing for some of us means to show or tell the way to others as well as ourselves. If we have to direct others, we either give orders or tell others what to do, but to direct ourselves is a lot more difficult act and task to perform. This requires special skills of persuasion. We must put good and sound suggestions in our subconscious mind. These auto-suggestions will assist us to give us positive directions to move ahead systematically and continuously. There is a powerful relationship between our mind and body. Whatever good vibes we plant into our minds can tell our bodies to move in a particular direction. Our soul has a kind of willpower that can drive us toward what we want to achieve. Let me illustrate this with a true story. The best track record of Glynis non-athlete Olympic gold medalist was 13.17 seconds, and this reached to 13.01 seconds in 1984. She discovered and was convinced that the mind plays a much bigger part in our achievement than what we are able to recognize. 2 nights before her Olympic race in Los Angeles, she had a dream that she ran the race in 13.01 seconds in the hurdle, and she also dreamed about flowers. The next morning, she received flowers from her husband Chris and a family friend Tom. Since part of her dream came true, she was convinced that the other part would come true as well. The following day, as she was training, she kept directing herself to win the race in 13.01 seconds. When she crossed the line after the race the next day, she looked up at the time board that read 13.01 seconds. Her dream of flowers and the 13.01 seconds both came true because she directed her mind to reach that goal. You too can learn to direct yourself to reach your goals. The human mind is divided into two parts: the conscious and the subconscious. Our conscious mind attends to matters that attract our immediate attention one at a time, while our subconscious mind is tuned into one program. It is tuned out of all others. Our conscious behavior is influenced by our subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind is concerned with matters that are crucial to our survival. If this part of our mind goes to rest, then we would not be able to live because it controls our breathing, heartbeat, circulation of blood, and digestion. It can be compared with a fertile field capable of producing healthy crops, but can get noxious weeds if it is not looked after properly. It absorbs all the needed information that flows into our conscious mind. So every word we speak, every sentence we read, and everything we see is stored away in our subconscious mind. This influences all our actions and character. Thus, we have the power to regulate all information that reaches our subconscious mind through our five senses and program ourselves to change our thinking patterns to conform to the new image we desire. Therefore, it is thought that we can properly direct ourselves and reprogram our subconscious mind at critical times of the day. We can fill our subconscious mind with suitable images half an hour before we drop off to sleep at night, or half an hour after our eyes open from our sleep in the morning. We can condition and prepare our minds with images and commands of our choice. We can give direct orders to our mind to do greater deeds. We can feed our minds with these kinds of orders, images, and commands. I am a healthy person. I am physically fit and have a sound mind in my healthy body. I am capable of achieving excellent results in whatever I do. I enjoy my life to the fullest. I am an honest person capable of achieving high productivity, and I love my work. I enjoy good, sound, and untroubled sleep. I do not get disturbed when I am sleeping, and I wake up fully refreshed and full of energy to begin my work effectively. I have pride in my organization. I enjoy my life to the fullest. You can modify these images and commands to suit your needs, but it would be a good idea to record these on a cassette tape that you can play regularly at the two given times. Make as many similar images as you want to keep feeding your subconscious mind, and you will begin to see some positive results. This is how we can be properly directed to achieve greater success and peace in our daily lives. Remember to keep preparing your cassette tapes containing your best orders and images very truthfully. Giving direction to your mind to improve your own image is not difficult if you are determined to become a better person. Our need to direct ourselves has become more important because everything now being done is going to be done differently. In fact, the call of the current time is to do it better, and if we do not do it, our competitors will. Lecture 14. Control your life. We have talked about proper planning and directing ourselves in order to do well in life. Now is the time to talk about proper controls and order in our life. We need orderliness around us if we are to succeed in all our activities. Learning to control our emotions, movements, and thoughts is very important. It is difficult to live a happy life if our life is full of uncontrolled activities and emotions. There are many aspects of our life that we need to control sensibly. These include our emotions, our actions, our speech, our thinking, and our family life. Many of us need anger management because we lose our temper easily on petty matters. Some of us need to control our poor habits of telling lies. Others need to keep a check and balance on such things as personal cleanliness. Yet there are some of us who love to get into unnecessary conflicts. Through proper control of these aspects of life, we are able to build strong self-image and overcome many of our confusions and troubles. If we treasure and promote good and acceptable human emotions of love, friendship, kindness, and peaceful living, then we develop a good relationship with all around us. Love is an essential human feeling that creates harmony in the family and the community. Love for our family members, our pets, our country, and our people is essential for us to enjoy our life. We learn to love because we find some aspects of truth, beauty, and goodness in the people or things we love, and to be able to look for and find these important traits can be difficult but exhilarating. When we are able to see the difference between unconditional and conditional love, we are able to control this feeling to our advantage. A friend in need is a friend indeed. We must choose our friends carefully, and to be able to do this safely, we need to know what are the qualities of a good friend. We should know that the greatest gift couldn't be found in a store or under a tree, but in the hearts of true friends. So the only way to have a friend is to be one. We will have a happy life if we love our friends, respect them, and behave ourselves to make them respect us. If we are able to control this aspect of our life, then all our friends are people who know all good and bad about us and still like us. There is no limit to human kindness, courtesy, and good conduct. There is no reason why we cannot display absolute kindness when we deal with our friends and family members or any other person. Show of good conduct and common human courtesies like, "Sorry, thank you, excuse me, I beg your pardon, please," etc. should never be forgotten when we interact with anyone. These aspects of good manners would only come to us if we were able to keep a good control on them and ensure that we always use them well. The world our human beings live in must show all signs of peace and harmony. If we are at peace within ourselves, then we can see peace around us. To be peaceful in our disposition requires discipline and control over our words, thoughts, and actions. Violence, fights, quarrels, and wars have never helped us in any form or shape. Therefore, we must keep control of all our behaviors that lead us toward these dangerous elements. Whenever an angry feeling disturbs us, we should stop and count up to 10. These 10 seconds will pay us handsomely to lead a peaceful life. There are many similar things and habits that can fortify, strengthen, and motivate us to be good human beings, but we must first learn to control our destiny and develop a strong self-image. Our own beautiful picture of our own selves is the most enlightening experience for us. We have to find out who we are by becoming wiser, honest, and organized. Building a new and better picture or self-image of ourselves is very important. But we have to get a deeper understanding of our own human qualities such as love, affection, kindness, and all human courtesies. This would be possible if we can order a quick control and change in our way of life. If we can keep a control on our way of life, then it becomes easier to guide and control others in your family and community. We would be able to boast that everyone in our community leads by example and presents wonderful role models for others to follow. We should quickly learn that our past is part of what we are today, but we cannot dwell on our yesterday and remain there if there was not much to respect and honor our history. Bad, confusing, and dirty examples of our family and communal history can be improved through improved and better control on our present and future activities. Our complete understanding of our present actions and ideas will enable us to build our tomorrow on a very firm and solid foundation. Thus, we will order ourselves and control our actions to transform our self-image by putting some of our negative feelings and qualities far away in the past. We would clearly look at our life more clearly and work positively. Life, as we all know, has a purpose, and none of us has come on this earth by accident. We have to wake up, get out, and find out the real purpose of our existence. Why are we here? We are here to enjoy our human living honorably and with dignity. In order to do this with pride and care, we need to establish various checks and balances and define our proper directions that would help us prevent uselessness and emptiness in our living standard. When we discover some of our shortcomings, we are able to exert good and unique control on our willpower to gather all the courage to rise above them. The more control we exercise, the greater the internal changes would begin to take deep roots within us. Then we would see a clear difference between the person we are and the person we would like to become. This control and understanding would bring greater success us. Self-control is difficult, but it is contagious and provides us with confidence. If we can change our preconceptions about our self-image, we can modify and transform the total way of life. Our task is to develop a worthy and large mental picture of ourselves. We should not look at our past failures and brood, because these would distort our positive mental picture and lead us to more frustration and misery. We should learn from our mistakes, never repeat them, but correct them as we move forward. Many successful and motivated people have shown us that they have changed their concept of themselves at any time and at any age. So it is never too late to begin the challenging task of controlling our life. We too can escape from the dark tomb of old yesterday by building a proud monument of our new tomorrow. Remember to erect that foundation on real and truthful platform. We all should learn to live by some definite principles, aims, goals, and objectives. Let us create a new self-image by rising above the negative feelings, distorted thoughts, and defective ideas. Then we can convince ourselves that a more fruitful, richer, and fuller life is a true possibility for us. We were born in this world as human beings to succeed and not to fail. We are the most enlightened creatures of our time, so let us meet the challenges that lie ahead of us. This is the power we can generate through various control mechanisms. Therefore, the time is now to manufacture your enthusiasm as you move ahead and grow. Do not be afraid of the gap between your dreams and reality, because I have found out that if you can dream it, then you can make it so. But you have to keep trying. Lecture 15. Positive Mental Attitude. I firmly believe that enthusiasm is one of the most powerful engines of success. When we start doing anything, we should do it with all our might, putting our whole soul into it, stamping it with our own personality, and getting the best result from our efforts. We would be filled with extreme joy. It is one of the many truths that when we are active, energetic, enthusiastic, and faithful to ourselves, we would always accomplish our objective. Let me reiterate that nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm. Having looked at the power of enthusiasm, I feel now is the right time to indoctrinate you with the idea of a positive mental attitude, also called PMA for abbreviation. PMA is the beginning of all truth, beauty, and goodness in us. It is a reality, it is a miracle, but it is not always easy to attain because we have faced and witnessed a lot of negative things in our lifetime. It becomes much easier to believe that this is a terrible world, and we are full of problems, because our own people have continuously told us that seeing is believing. We are not prepared to take any risks and try out new things for us. This is due to an innate propensity called fear. Others who constantly think that things cannot be done have influenced us. We have to think differently and act otherwise, so that we are not held back by our own fear of failure. A. Assertiveness. This is our power and quality of expressing ourselves positively, strongly, and meaningfully. C. Creativity. This is our ability to make the best use of our resources and invent new and positive ideas and solutions. T. Thoughtfulness. This is our God-given ability to consider, reflect, and form useful and positive ideas in our mind. I agree that PMA is a difficult phenomenon, but certainly attainable if we throw away the mask of negative feelings and regenerate our power of imagination. We need to move away from all fear and start acting and looking at positive choices that provide us with positive results. Then we would have a definite edge for progress and join the group of so many can-do types of people. If these types of developments begin to grow, then it would be easy to manifest your desire to think differently and see everything in a new light. Our new and valuable thoughts and ideas would provide us with greater inspiration to act positively. We would gradually become enthusiastic, our own problem solvers, and have plenty of opportunities to retrain our thoughts. Consequently, a lot of gifts of life would flow to us in abundance. We would be able to bring all our goals and objectives closer because we would have a very fertile ground for possibilities at our command. Our dreams would slowly turn into reality. We would refuse to allow others to upset us, and our tomorrow would be much better. I have already said that possibility is the most beautiful word for a person who is looking for success in life. When we look at this word in detail, we can see that any imaginable and conceivable task for us could become achievable and possible if we are able to develop the right mental attitude for it. That right mental attitude has to be positive, real, and determined. This is what successful people term as a positive mental attitude. Nothing whatsoever would be impossible for us if we always worked hard and put on our best performance. Motivated people fully understand that all impossible activities are only temporary roadblocks to progress, and we can definitely overcome all our problems through our ingenuity. We need to develop that courage to get out of our temporary sorrows and difficulties by acting positively with grace. We have to develop our own system of beliefs and opinions as a strong guideline to wipe out the negative thought of impossibility. There is a truism that haunts us and says there is no perfect life. We face many hardships, trials, tribulations, and disappointments. A person who has learned to be assertive, creative, and thoughtful would immediately act and would not let any of the negative experiences change our future positive outlook. We are in total control of our thoughts and feelings. I am not saying that we expect perfection immediately, but we would be able to reach PMA slowly and gradually but surely. Think of the best things that have happened to us. Let us make a list of all our successful achievements and go over them every day at least 2 or 3 times. This would strengthen your inner thoughts to make us resilient and help us get out of all your troubles. Change is a constant thing in our lives. Let us learn new things every day, but many of us find that we have no time for all this. I suggest just getting up half an hour earlier every day and going to bed half an hour later. This 1 hour daily would be enough to add a new dimension to our life. Just try this and use this extra time to extend a helping hand to those in need by becoming a volunteer. Your PMA would balance manifolds and you would remain positive, stay creative, and always win. We must develop an attitude that there is a solution to most of our problems, and we can find those solutions ourselves. If anyone thinks that there are no problems around us, then they really have a big problem. We human beings are born as problem busters and problem solvers. We need 3 powerful tools to develop positive mental attitudes, and they are our self-confidence, our untarnished courage, and our enthusiasm to get up and go. We have all these within us and need to activate and generate them at the right time. Great leaders of this world had developed their own PMA, and they managed to do great things in their lifetime. They all had their own dreams and visions, and they firmly believed that whatever they wanted to do was humanly possible. All our successful leaders are able to see things from a different point of view because they believe that PMA is a reality. We all can do this and make all our dreams come true for us and our families. Jeffrey Gitomer says that PMA is a self-imposed blessing, and it is a philosophy for a lifetime. We have to study it, practice it, and live the essence of it every day. It is a state of mind that you determine to attain for yourself. Let me finish off this lecture with 6 of his formulae for attaining and sustaining a positive mental attitude. 1. Surround yourself with positive things and positive people. 2. Read and listen to positive books, CDs, and tapes. 3. Say all things in a positive way. 4. Believe you can achieve it. 5. Do not listen to others who tell you are nuts. 6. Start now and work at it every day. People who want to further develop, attain and maintain PMA should read ideas presented and written by such writers as Earl Nightingale, Napoleon Hill, Will Smith, and David Waters. Lecture 16. Building Self-Confidence. Aldous Huxley said that there is only one corner of the universe you can be certain of improving, and that is your own self. If you succeed in doing this, you become a person full of self-confidence. What is self-confidence? This is also a feeling of reality in all enlightened people. It is a feeling of certainty about oneself. It is an innate belief that we are right and can do everything and anything if we put our mind to it. It is believed that self-confidence is a positive self-image, and it is a miracle force working within us. We all need this very much if we want to be successful in life. And who does not want to be successful except that lazy person tucked away at the corner of your street? To fill you with self-confidence require discipline and self-esteem, and we all have these qualities within us. As with other human qualities, this needs too to be activated carefully. What would self-confidence do for us? It would assist us to unlock all the doors to an amazing future full of exciting new developments. It would give us a brighter life ahead and help us establish very rich experiences full of good values. It is natural for us to wake up every morning with the hope of achieving a better standard in everything we do and think. We would be able to achieve all these if we strongly believe in our talents, skills, and knowledge. Our self-confidence would multiply our capabilities and abilities, and certainly make us outshine all our competitors. We have seen over the years that our personality can be transformed completely if we firmly believe that we are capable of higher achievements. We must have this feeling because it gives us satisfaction and credibility in our way of living. Our difficulty is that some of us have what we term as inferiority complex. We think that we are not worthy and lack the ingredients that other successful people possess. This feeling punctures and kills their pride, and self-respect makes them lethargic and despondent. This state of mind has to be changed, and changed quickly. Any person who is fond of belittling himself can never dehypnotize himself to watch himself at his best and visualize a positive self-image. Such people push themselves to failure and hardship. When they themselves say that they cannot reach their goals, they fall into that trap and fail miserably. This was not the reason for our birth. We were born to flourish and succeed. I am reminded of another story about a Mexican lady who worked for only $1 a day as a new arrival in the United States, but worked her way to become the trustworthy treasurer for the country because she had confidence in her abilities. The secret is that we must learn to expect a lot more from ourselves. The problem is that many of us are satisfied with our normal performance and do not attempt to rise higher than our expectations and levels of excellence. If we have not done well so far in our life or at work, it is not that we are dumb people or poor performers. We have not looked at the power of our self-confidence and joined that can-do group that we talked about earlier. There may be many valid reasons for our inadequacies. We may have had poor and inadequate early guidance. Our learning may have suffered because of poor educational stimulus, advisors, and environment. If you are in this group, then you have to think of those people who began their life in a small way, but they had big thoughts and became great performers. There were people who I know had speech defects, but gradually became world-class orators. There were yet others who had nothing but soon became millionaires, and there were weaker students who excelled and became exceptional academics, all because were able to build that superpower called self-confidence and worked vigorously. One thing we should never forget is that there is always a confident person waiting to be born in us. As long as we have the right vision and are ready to rise up every time we fall or slip. Success comes to those of us who want to succeed, and similarly, supercompetence and self-confidence go to those who treasure these human attributes. It is a dreadful sin to classify ourselves as incompetent, but there are people in this category among us. There are pulling down factors, and the sooner we make them get out of that rut, the better it is for all of us. Those of us who have developed self-confidence need to spread this gospel to everyone so that we can meet the difficult challenges of the 21st century. One of the reasons for our slower progress and global economic slowdown is that there are fewer super competent workers among us. We have to reverse the situation and make all our working population learn to excel through their self-confidence and motivation. Some human resource experts have said that only 20% of the workforce is competent, and these are the ones who work for the other 80% who are lazy, incompetent, or do not want to put in their best performance, all because they have lost their self-confidence and self-esteem. They also say these human attributes are contagious, and if we are able to increase our percentage of super competent performers, then this world would be a better place to interact and coexist. Let me tell you that there is no quick result for this, but we can definitely build self-confidence if we are not scared but unstoppable in our attempt to keep advancing to develop a good perception of ourselves. We as self-confident people can inspire similar and greater confidence in others. How can we do this? First, let us resolve to contribute positively to the needs of our community. Become a physically fit person through regular workouts and exercises. Never hide from reality, but always be seen and be visible to the family, friends, and foes alike. Show general gratefulness and satisfaction for all your big and small achievements alike. Develop a list of your successful deeds and strengths and speak about these regularly. Pay proper attention to your personal grooming and posture. Show confidence in the way you talk, walk, and look. Ensure that you dress well to look and feel good. If all these happen within and around you, then no one would be able to stop and scare you to build and develop self-confidence. Your mental age would be a lot younger than your physical looks. This is your readiness and qualification to meet the demands of the future. Lecture 17. Affirmation of our commitment. We have done so little so far, but we know that there is so much more to do. So let us commit ourselves to complete our remaining tasks and responsibilities with greater enthusiasm and deeper interest. We need to give a solid affirmation to this commitment. Commitment is a very powerful tool of human progress. After establishing a strong and clear vision for our future, we need to bind ourselves to our dreams and plans. We should develop an unconditional urge and complete belief in whatever we have agreed to do. We cannot be half-hearted but operate at full throttle to honor our commitment. Very early in life, we learn to commit ourselves to many small deeds. We promise to do something, or we bind ourselves to perform some work or activity. If we succeed in completing that promised task, we fulfill your commitment. But when we are unable to do as we promised, then we get worried. Our inability to complete our committed activity would never occur if we kept affirming and reminding ourselves of our dreams and visions. From time to time, we all have committed ourselves to various tasks, lifestyles, and activities. We have developed our vision for the future and dreamt of better living standards for us. How can we fulfill our promise to ourselves? Our firm commitment could be our drive to bring success to us in this area. We cannot let our promises turn to dust or fly away. We have to hold them tightly and carefully to understand them, observe them, scrutinize them, and cherish them if we want to fulfill these promises. This is our commitment to us. If we have committed ourselves to working harder, passing our examinations with better marks, achieving better results, and getting a promotion, then we need to keep reminding ourselves of these promises until they are fulfilled. Continuous affirmation would help a lot. I am told that once upon a time all ants were born with wings, but as time went by they tore those wings off deliberately. The ants chose to live out as crawling insects when they were given the option to be flying angels. It was almost set by nature that they were given the vast empire of air and wide atmosphere to fly and move freely. They refused. What a shame for the crawling ants! On their wings, they could have rocketed high with their imagination and be fully committed to doing whatever they dreamed about. They did not want to do this and chose to differ. We now feel that they made a mistake and sold themselves short. They had the choice to break loose, go wild with their imagination, and establish their commitment to being better performers. What a drastic mistake! This is what happens to us if we fail to affirm, renew, and remind ourselves of our commitment. We have been given the power to commit ourselves and excel in every activity that we indulge in. We would be accepting lower rewards if we do not fulfill all our promises because, in fact, the reward of all human beings is that they can do greater things, and the sky is the limit for them. If they turn out to be the ones who choose not to be affirmative about their commitment, then they are at fault. When we make an affirmation about something we have imagined and become fully committed to these activities, then we are simply making a factual statement such as, if others are able to do this, then I can do it too. Your firm belief in this philosophy, that there is a better life in store for me in the future, would lead you to get out of your mental cage and fly. This is your ultimate choice. Get committed to your beliefs, and keep affirming these undertakings continuously. Beginning in a small way would take us to great things. This is like a child learning to crawl before walking and running. We all can begin to discover our future ourselves, and begin our long journey of 1,000 miles with our first bold and calculated step. If others are doing it, then why should we procrastinate and keep waiting for our turn to come? Why walk if we can run to reach our destination? Let us wake up and make a promise to ourselves that we would bring about greater changes to the way we operate every day. This would be your commitment to yourself, and you cannot deceive yourself. We know that curiosity is the mother of creativity. Let us relax for a while and think deeply. We can generate a positive mental climate that would throw out possible vibes and make us churn out new and creative ideas. We should collect these worthy auto-suggestions and convert them into our firm commitment. We can create a love for what we do. Our life would run smoothly, and we would be happily committed to our work. One has to create a love for what one does because love brings out real feelings in everything we do. Once we learn to love our work, our home, our organization, our family, and friends, then our total commitment and pride for these areas increase considerably. All our buried dreams are resurrected, our sleeping enthusiasm sparks off a fresh beam, and our silent glowing charcoals flicker and burst into new flames if we have the right commitment to everything we decide to do. Therefore, it is a good idea to be committed to our imagination and keep affirming all our ideas, our vision, and our dreams. Every person who wants to be creative has a strong commitment. To become creative, we must first learn to respect, trust, and admire our own thoughts and ideas. Then we develop into an inventive pathfinder and ask for specific questions when an idea or an innovation dwells around us. Is this a practical idea? Is it a pace-setting innovation? Is it an inspiring suggestion? Is it an excellent suggestion? Agreeing to listen carefully to the thoughts of other successful people and taking care to treasure our own views would definitely provide us with good, thoughtful, valuable, and sensible answers to these questions. So let us listen, but you can only listen when you are able to unjumble the word and become silent. When we are silent, we listen better. It is during such valuable times when we are meditating, thinking and observing that our commitment is affirmed, and we move forward without fear. Lecture 18. Clear and Creative Thinking. To be able to think clearly and creatively, we must devote much of our time to these aspects of our living. Sooner or later, we find out that too many people have lost sight of the true values of clear thinking because they are overwhelmed by the present-day technology and overpowered by materialistic pressures. This loss is so tragic at times that it affects us negatively. I cannot emphasize enough that clear and creative thinking is one of the major bases of our growth and development. To be able to think well, we need to generate and develop a sense of urgency for all our activities. This means then we have to manage our time effectively at all times. Of the 24 hours in a day, we spend about 8 hours sleeping, about 3 hours eating and drinking, and then our daily commuting to work or school takes at least an hour. So we have lost 12 hours easily. From the remaining 12 hours, we have to spare at least a few hours for leisure activities for our family and ourselves. In fact, we are left with only 8 hours of productive time that we must learn to manage carefully. Time is money in the material world, and we do not have a choice but to use our time effectively. In order to do this well, we need to motivate ourselves. There are 3 ways we can do this. Incentive motivation is based on rewards. Fear motivation is based on punishment. Attitudinal motivation is based on clearer thinking. Incentive motivation can be explained with a story of a buffalo and a farmer. A buffalo was pulling a wooden cart down a dirty country road. A farmer was sitting in the cart with a long pole that had a rope tied down at the end of it. A bundle of green grass was dangling from the rope in front of the buffalo. This buffalo then moved forward to eat the grass if it felt hungry. This type of motivation eventually wears out and is based on the need of the person to be satisfied. If the buffalo does not feel hungry and does not need the grass, then it would not pull the cart. Fear motivation starts when the farmer removes the bundle of grass and uses the pole to beat the buffalo. If the buffalo is afraid of this beating, then it moves forward to pull the cart. It would soon become immune to beating and stop pulling the cart. Even this type of motivation would not produce the desired result forever. Pick. 1. The buffalo is willing to pull the cart because it wants to help the farmer. Pick. 2. The unwilling buffalo is beaten to pull the cart because it is stubborn. Pick. 3. The buffalo is given hay as motivation to pull the cart because it needs an incentive. I believe that an individual does not need either incentive motivation to be lured with a prize or fear motivation to be driven with a whip. A person requires clear thinking and can be moved forward by their own positive mental attitude. This is called attitudinal motivation and is based on our own enthusiasm, energy, and thoughts. If we have the right attitude for whatever we want to do, then there is nothing there to stop us from moving ahead at our own pace. Attitudinal motivation demands that we manage our time well. We must take the time to think clearly and creatively because this would provide us the needed power to do anything. We would find the secret of continuous progress if we learned to take the time to play and exercise regularly. If we took time to do extensive reading, it would give us the foundation of wisdom to tackle any task easily and methodically. If we took enough time to give, then, as Bill Clinton says, we would learn to be unselfish and increase our own knowledge to turn all the impossible tasks into possible accomplishments. Giving is the greatest gift for all human beings. We give advice, assistance, love, lessons, money, material, and many other things to people who are in need, and in doing so we enrich our own thinking and actions. By giving more to others, we fill our own minds and life with added laughter, friendliness, enjoyment, and carefulness. These would make us fully prepared to interact and control all our activities well. Thus, a platform for clear and creative thinking is established within us, and as time moves on, we are able to strengthen our mental attitude to motivate us the way we desire. Our desire becomes our takeoff point. We are able to control our thoughts in such a way that nothing seems difficult for us. We become go-go individuals and begin to move with added speed and motivation. We are able to create a situation where we never rush into any overt actions. First, we ponder, and then we are able to weigh and assess the character of our thinking. No matter how busy, we are able to find time and take time to crystallize our character and our thinking in such a way that we are able to meet success at every step of our life. We would soon learn that in these difficult economic times, our best efforts are not good enough because a lot more would be expected from us to meet the increasing challenges. I have learned that the major difficulty with clear and creative thinking is confusion. We try to do too much in our mind at once instead of finding some simple way of paying attention to one thing at a time. In this way, we are able to build a map, which would tell us where we are and where we wish to go. It would be a lot easier to take appropriate action. Thus we can become master thinkers and learn to think to win. The end result is that we win by thinking clearly and creatively. We long to improve and overcome all our difficulties when we begin to think well. This search for self-improvement is becoming our only goal. When any types of distraction invade your mind, when negative feelings threaten you, and when a bee is about to sting you, what do you do to overcome these? You spontaneously fight them off vigorously. Having done that, you then think carefully to make sure that it does not happen again. That is your motivation to improve and overcome. You have the power to rise above all blunders and misfortunes if you think clearly and creatively. For many of us, clear and creative thinking means discipline to live well in the present world. Self-respect is the heartbeat of creative and clear thinking, but it requires that we build total faith in ourselves. We must have faith in our talents and skills. All successful thinkers yield to positive impulses when these arise in their minds. You too can be positively impulsive if you take immediate actions and steps when the waves of positive impulses move in front of you. Wake up, come alive, snap the cords of laziness, break the chains of lethargy, and make up your mind to act immediately. Think quickly and take advantage of the opportunity that knocks at your door. Bill Cosby says that we must search for the big you within you and let it come out to achieve excellent results for you. You must help yourself become the person you would like to be. You will be the winner if you think that way. Accept yourself not only as you are, but as you can become when you are able to find the better and bigger you within yourself. Always remember that through your clear and creative thinking and your proactive stance, you have the power to unearth the hidden resources within you. You have heard this said before, as a human being thinks, so shall he become. This becomes your guarantee when your thinking is clear and creative, and your goals are sharply defined. Your most rewarding competition is with yourself. Do it now. Lecture 19. Relax and succeed. Success of any person can be explained in multiple ways, but the first thing to remember about success is that it is a very important issue for all enlightened and enterprising human beings. The next point is equally vital because success is an achievable idea for everyone. Let me make a few introductory remarks to really motivate you to move faster towards success. Then I will tell you how to succeed. For an enterprising person, success is a journey and not a destination. A successful person keeps moving towards greater deeds and actions, and would not just stop and relax at the first successful venture. We never reach a success point in our life or at work and stop there, but we keep proceeding and moving with added vigor and enthusiasm throughout our life, and meeting various challenges and experiencing success after success. This is what we term as perseverance. All hard-working individuals see success as a ladder and not an escalator. Through our consistent and persistent efforts, we are determined and able to climb up the ladder step by step without waiting for someone else to switch on the escalator for us. There is no easy and quick way to reach the top. There are no escalators around in this area of human pursuit for us to climb in and switch the button on to take us upwards easily. We have to plan our success. There are many techniques for bringing success into your life. If we are fully motivated to develop our required and inherent determination, we would be able to set excellent goals in our life and at work. These would only happen if we learned to fully concentrate on all our aims and objectives in life. So if we are determined goal setters with effective concentration techniques, then we have the necessary motivation to look for and seek new directions to exploit and work for our advantage. Anything short of these would work against us, and these tough times would turn out to be a lot more tougher for us until one day we would find that it is very difficult to overcome our problems. Our ease would bring a lot of diseases for us in life. If material welfare were your yardstick for success, then our material welfare would be equal to our ability to develop appropriate technological tools to exploit natural resources with the best of human energy. This should enable responsible people to keep a balance between their concern for people and their concern for productivity. We would not inflict any harm on others in achieving our aim of increased productivity and quality. Then, and then only, we would be regarded as successful people, and yet have a relaxing mood in life. In order to develop a relaxing mood among us, and yet be able to move well into the territory of success, we need to fully understand ourselves and the people we interact with every day. It has been said that proper human understanding is one of the keys to successful living. Before fully understanding and appreciating the nature and living of human beings, we need to develop some rules of relaxation in our own life. These are only a few ideas that we can put into practice for better human understanding. 1. Stop holding grudges against anyone you interact with. 2. Learn to look at things from the other person's point of view. 3. Remember your past successes and use them to educate others. 4. Do not run away from your failures, be realistic. 5. Erect a fountain of good ideas in your mind. 6. Avoid a clenched fist situation and all kinds of tension. 7. Be always ready and eager to give all you can. 8. Cherish and practice smiling at all things, events, and people. 10. Accept other people's weaknesses. 11. Attain tranquility by being calm and collected at all times. 12. Stand up with a resolution for yourself and others. 13. Refuse to permit tensions to overpower you. 14. Develop good habits and destroy the feeling of despair. 15. Be confident at all times. 16. Throw away the worst of your frustrations as soon as you notice them. 17. By forgiving yourself you learn to forgive others. By putting some of these and all your ideas about relaxation, you would be able to search and find a better you. As long as we live, every day is a day for daily growth, a daily enterprise, and a new experience. Adjust your life today to the realities of tomorrow, but never forget your yesterday. Just learn to separate the facts from fantasy by never downgrading yourself or anyone else. Accept yourself for whatever you are and never pretend. You would never feel very good if you spend your time trying to be someone else. Be yourself, but you can learn from the ideas of great people. Be relaxed and neither hide behind the curtain nor avoid the right actions. Just develop and create bigger and greater opportunities for yourself and your family. After you have developed a relaxed mind, you can understand things better to meet success at every step. How can you do this? 1. Be tolerant of others and their behavior and words. 2. Avoid expecting people to be perfect because no one is. 3. Ensure that you genuinely want to serve and assert people. 4. Look for goodness, truth, and beauty in yourself and others. 5. Learn to love change, renewal, and the unlovable. 6. Hate the things that are evil, not the person. 7. Control your reactions, attitude, and actions. 8. Develop a positive mental attitude. 9. Know your strengths and talents. 10. Detect your weaknesses and overcome the threats. 11. Time is money, so try to fully use it and do not abuse it. So let us learn to succeed by always being in a relaxed mood for achieving the best results and healthy outcomes. Lecture 20. Happiness is helpful. Happiness is a very helpful habit for all successful human beings. If you are delighted, pleased, or glad about something, you have reached a stage of happiness in your daily living. Happiness comes to those of us who have pleasure in doing things and are pleased to interact healthily with everyone. When we try hard to seek ways and means to enjoy everything at work, at home, and in life generally, we are on a road to complete happiness. Many people of this world are definitely happy, and do not need to be reminded to change, but there are many around us who are caught in sadness and despondency. They need help, and it is our duty to assist them to walk on the pleasant road of happiness. There are at least 10 solid commandments to enable any person to proceed to complete happiness in life. We should preach and practice these habits to make our community a better place to coexist. Speak to everyone clearly, concisely, and confidently with cheerful greetings and polite words. Since it takes a lot more effort to frown than to smile, we must ensure that we use this ammunition of good relationships effectively and freely. A smile does not cost us anything, but it pays us very high returns. 1. Given name is the best thing a person possesses, and it sounds sweet to the ears when our name is used in the proper way. It is helpful to remember and use the accepted names of your friends and relatives when communicating with them. Do not call people by names they do not approve of or do not like. 2. When we are friendly and helpful to everyone, it is natural that others begin to respond in a like manner. The more we befriend our people, and the more we assist them, the greater would be their reciprocal response. 4. Speak and act as if everything you do were a genuine pleasure, and take pride in doing things for everybody. Love for your work and pride in your organization are both vital feelings. 5. If we are genuinely interested in all the people we deal with, then we create a very harmonious relationship with each other. People then interact freely and happily, thus making everything look possible and cool. 7. If we are generous with our praise for all things and behavior that are good, beautiful, and truthful, then we would always be happy. However, when you have to criticize things and behavior of people, you have to be very careful and cautious and do it wisely. 8. Everyone would appreciate it if you were humble and considerate with the feelings of others. Your consideration would give you and your friends a lot of joy. 10. Be thoughtful of the opinions and views of other people, but remember to give your support to the right and logical ones. Be consistent with your support and allegiance if you want to be happy. 11. It counts a lot if you want to give service to others with sincerity. Effective and efficient service in all areas has become the most powerful tool of human interaction and personal satisfaction. Reaching a complete state of happiness should be the ultimate objective of every motivated person. Happiness does not mean that we have no problems, no difficulties, or barriers around us. In fact, no day is problem-free occasion for us, but we do feel excited and are elated if we are able to overcome our difficulties with happiness. This feeling of freedom from bondage makes us full of self-respect, and we are honored. Words that make us feel happy are many, but let us look at these 4: contentment, satisfaction, freedom, and enthusiasm. When we attain contentment, we feel that we are free from all bonds. We are fully satisfied, and this is our enthusiasm that leads us to complete happiness. We feel good that we have achieved whatever we could. We got whatever we desired. We have achieved our objectives. Unhappiness is a negative feeling and makes us less than what we are and what we want to become. It reduces our thinking power. It diminishes our efforts and decreases our enthusiasm to move ahead with speed and accuracy. Happiness, on the other hand, is a positive feeling because it increases our stature as a strong human being, enabling us to make a worthwhile contribution in life, at the workplace, and in the community generally. Happiness lifts up and enhances our general self-esteem, and it helps us to rise to our total potential and produce more. I believe that happiness gives us a rolling stone type of effect. To be happy, one must stop hating everything around by avoiding little faults. One must decide between disbelief and belief. One must have the courage to win out over all negative attitudes by using one's imagination creatively and productively. This can be done by giving the best of service to others and feeling that you are needed in the community and the society. We get real pleasure when we learn to give service without the thought of profit. Whatever we make for ourselves can be lost, but whatever we give to others is our greatest asset if we give happily. Giving happiness to everyone is difficult, but it is not impossible. Happiness is definitely contagious. So let us spread this good feeling to everyone around us by smiling inside and making warm feelings a part of daily living. Let us learn to laugh, because laughing and smiling are great ingredients of happiness, and when they are genuine, they act as purifying agents. We should not retire from life, but continue to nourish our being with the emotional and spiritual feeling of contentment. Seek more activities that will make you happier. Keep yourself busy by creating a balance between work, play, and relaxation. Happiness for me has been an internal feeling. All of us can find it if we looked around us hard enough. Happiness is one item that multiplies by division. So the more we divide our happiness by giving friendly service to others, the greater becomes our wisdom and joy of living as successful people. When I began to work as a teacher, I got married and wanted to live a happy life. I decided to work hard in order to have a happy family life. I became an effective teacher, and I was rewarded with a scholarship to do further studies. I kept moving ahead with determination and kept getting many promotions and rewards at work. All these made me happy, and the joy was shared in the community in many ways. I started helping people with their accounting work. I gave administrative services to small business people. I also did a lot of voluntary tuition for students who wanted to excel in their schoolwork. I acted as a consultant to many farmers and small business people to advise them about insurance, education, and family issues. These economic, social, religious, and professional activities kept me busy and happy, but gave me a lot of opportunities to learn from interacting with a variety of people. I was active in the community to do religious work, trade union activities, and giving lectures at seminars and meetings of youth and older citizens. All these meant happiness for my family and me. We kept ourselves busy and maintained our happy family life. My success and happiness could be attributed to the support and cooperation of my wife and 4 children. Today we are happy to look back at all our contributions and participation to make our life and work a successful and adventurous happening. We are happy that we were able to work together and achieve good results. We loved our existence and interactions, however, whenever and wherever they were given, because they were given with joy. So everyone who wants to be happy can do much more than we were able to do in our lifetime. People who go on the road to happiness can definitely be very successful. This is the reason I advocate that happiness is helpful for human habitation. Lecture 21. Discover yourself and win. Self-discovery has been a key to the success of many motivated people, because those of us who have discovered our full potential have seen winning streaks in our life. We have won great prizes and awards. When it comes to talking about self-discovery, we look at a lot of powerful things that are hidden within us. These include our self-esteem, confidence, pride, determination, control, acceptance, skills, and knowledge. Those of us who have managed to explore and discover these elements early in life have seen success and achievements because they have put these to better use for their development. This voyage of exploration and discovery has to be an ongoing adventure, because every new day would bring a lot of brilliant ideas and workable directions for us. The aim of every motivated person should be to conduct this self-discovery and self-exploration adventure with persistence and determination. Calvin Coolidge, the U.S. President in 1921, made a very relevant point on persistence, and this should help us march forward with greater determination. Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not, genius will not, and education alone will not. Persistence and determination are omnipotent. This voyage of discovery must begin with a positive step, which should definitely take you towards what we call the proper sense of direction. When you are successful in discovering yourself, then you would be able to see a very large improvement of your self-image, because you would be able to uproot the garbage of all the despair clattering in your mind. You would be able to fully understand and cooperate with your very enlarged self. There would be no power to stop you from convincing you that you are a true winner of all points and for all activities. You would be able to continuously encourage the truth, beauty, and goodness inside you. You would be able to confidently select your goals and overcome your limitations. You would be able to select the scenario of tomorrow with the strong and positive beliefs of today. When I went on this wonderful voyage of self-discovery, I kept trying to see myself as my big self and not as my little self. Thus, I was able to build my enthusiasm to achieve all my objectives and learn to live creatively. Not only these, but I was able to resolve to understand the needs of others as well as my own by looking for facts, not fantasies. I then was able to live on solid grounds of self-development. All winners seek to find their real selves, true personalities, and advance towards their realistic goals. However, when they falter, they develop a strong feeling of retrying and redoing the same activities and ensure that they succeed. So it is always advisable to discover and rediscover your true capabilities and then channel them correctly. By telling your friends and colleagues about your successful adventures and discoveries, you are going to enhance their chances of success, but you too would feel better with your own efforts. Through your self-discovery, you would learn to conquer all fears and failures. Then step by step all your frustrations, aggressiveness, insecurity, loneliness, uncertainty, resentment, and emptiness would be destroyed. You would look like a new you, full of energy to take all the challenges facing you. No one else can make you get these positive feelings. Like Alexander the Great, you too have to be your own conqueror of your negativity. You would feel confident and stand tall in the community. You would stop to live with yesterday's ideas and quickly learn to advance with new visions and brilliant ideas for your future. No one can stop you then. All successful people have been moving ahead despite some of their tensions, pains, rejections, and disappointments. They did not brood on these weaknesses and look for a retreat, but they advanced with greater vigor and enthusiasm by setting new goals every day, revising these frequently to suit their needs and wants. They always were sure of their actions to turn their slight decrease in progress to speedy recovery. We all know that greatness consists of trying to be great and not giving up hope. So we cannot stop shortchanging ourselves, but to try and try again until we meet success. We are an important unit in this world, so we must reactivate our energy and capability to find a better way to live and work. This will be your new discovery, and you will be proud of your potential. Many years ago, a village priest told me that our resentment and our fear were the two main tools that crippled and stopped us from going towards a new discovery. We do not like new changes and have fear about them, but the sooner we overcome these negative thoughts, the faster and quicker we would move towards self-fulfillment and achieve a winning position in life. Therefore, if I were you, I would quickly move to act and get going to shake up the negative forces within you and become a stronger individual and a more powerful person. You should break up the obstacles, shatter all the barriers, and take up the new task of self-discovery that is your destiny. This is how you would keep on winning in your life and at your work. If you want to win, you should not delay your actions, but act immediately. If inertia, delay, or procrastination set in to start your self-discovery, then you would repent it all your life. Having discovered your real self, you may like to ask yourself a very important question. What kind of a person am I? I have seen a variety of people in life that you can compare yourself with. I would use bones to describe these types of people. Firstly, there are the jawbone types of people who talk too much and are not able to match their words with appropriate actions. Too much talk and very little work is their habit. In other words, this person is a yap person. Secondly, there are the wishbone types of people who keep wishing for things without actually planning and doing anything concrete to achieve their wishes. Their wishing habits are like empty vessels that do not carry anything valuable. I think such people are like a yo-yo, moving up and down, never constant or steady but dreamers and delayers. Thirdly, there are the knucklebone types of people who feel good to knock down all good ideas and destroy all workable suggestions of sensible people. They are the destructive elements in the community, never in favor of anyone progressing in life. Such are the no, people who are never willing to start anything good. They say no to everything, full of excuses. Then we have the lazy bone types of people who do not want to do any work, but love to laze around at all times. Their laziness becomes an epidemic and spreads fast if we are not careful to motivate them quickly to get up and move for their own progress. We can also call them the blow people who think big and talk big but back off just when they should move ahead. Finally, there are the backbone types of people who always stand strong, energetic, and full of enthusiasm, always willing to support the right cause of action at the right time. They are as powerful as our backbone that supports our whole body. These are the go-go people who think big, talk big, but also perform big deeds. They are the true winners in all the fields of human endeavor. They always surge ahead to succeed. Who are you? The backbone type of person, I suppose. The whole community depends on you and your actions. You have to discover this type of person within you if you want to win. Now you should have already properly discovered yourself. My task is to see that you behave like the go-go person and be the backbone type of person. You cannot put this off for another day or delay it anymore, because procrastination is the thief of time and is your greatest enemy. Act now and discover yourself properly. Lecture 22. Turn your liabilities into assets. Basically, all motivated human beings are supposed to be tough and determined. If that is the case, then such people are ever ready to have a mental and spiritual facelift and perform any difficult and complex tasks with greater ease. Once people become aware of their intrinsic toughness, they develop the capacity and capability of an experienced boxer to come back off the floor, wipe their gloves clean in spite of shaky legs, and battle back to become a winner. They refuse to be defeated and quickly learn to fight with all their might. Nothing can hold them back if they are so determined to move ahead. They know how to look for and find their correct place in the community and build their self-reliance every day. They refuse to make mountains out of molehills. In fact, they are ready to open their clenched fist of tension and quickly replace their frown with a big smile. To battle and gain full self-respect become their greatest goal in life, and they turn out to be the most modern detectives who are boldly out to track down the best things in life. Nothing can come in the way for them to stop their progress. Thus, they are able to see themselves at their best and march vigorously towards personal improvement and doing peak performance with confidence. If this is the real possibility in life, then why should anyone remain a person full of frustrations and wait at the bottom of the ladder of progress? The challenge is to accept you as the greatest performer and utter like Muhammad Ali did, "I am the greatest." You would witness tremendous improvements at every step by matching your dreams and visions with concrete actions. If you have come so far with me and have learned to be motivated, then you have to forget the shortfalls, mistakes, and poor performance of yesterday and stop looking backward to some of your heartaches. Wake up, stand up, and run forward to grab the millions of opportunities lying ahead of you. This can be done by building courage and developing your creative insights for all your activities. Understanding yourself and becoming fully aware of all your talents and abilities means that you have the necessary power and dignity to do greater and more worthy tasks. Extend and take the power and dignity that you discovered within yourself to a new height. Make this your full-time job. You are beginning to turn all your liabilities into assets. and you will soon be called a fully motivated person ready to take on the challenges of the 21st century. Keep moving. By utilizing compassion, we can create a sound basis for morality, which in turn can easily be used to help us as well as the people around us. No man is an island, therefore, when you decide to move ahead in a new direction, you must ensure that you are in a good company. People who have developed with your motivational ideas would assist you to create a new world of success for you by becoming your greatest inspiration and assistant. So it is a good idea to develop a team of motivated people around you so that you all begin to think together and act jointly. It is understood that some people give up very quickly and become inhibited. Their feelings and enthusiasm are double-locked and latched behind the surface personality they present and show to the world at large. They are frightened to make any error, and if they do make an error, they cannot come out of it easily. To err is a human failing, and one has to quickly forget about the errors they made in the past. This would be one of the greatest human achievements because it gives you a unique kind of freedom. It is a release from negative feelings, a freedom from fear of making mistakes. So you learn to press on regardless. Remember that even the people who impress you as being perfect make mistakes, but they have managed to drop their mask and allow their creative self to fully participate in their life. They know that mistakes are part of our living, and we must admit them, but learn to rise above them to the status we deserve and aspire to. We have to formulate our goals with enthusiasm, prepare ourselves to achieve that status, and unlock our creative personality. So the time has come for you to get ready, get set, and go. CV for victory hanging right in front of you. This does not have to be tomorrow, but now. You cannot afford to mourn over each word of your goal by overthinking, but you must quickly learn to cement your aims and objectives in your mind, and then act correctly and quickly. You should exercise self-criticism, and it means you are on your way to success, but you must remember to adjust daily to changing situations. At the beginning of my high school days, when I was facing some difficulties in my life, I was told by my mentor to form a habit to become enterprising rather than having an empty mind. An empty mind is a devil's residence, I was told. I was encouraged to be a mind watcher and hunt for my assets by reactivating my success mechanism. I soon found out that every day can be an inner revolution for me if I sat in a think chair. Then nothing can hold me back from moving ahead. I realized that even the most successful people endure stress and problems. They too feel tense, but when this happens, they get their imagination gives them a big lift. They use their past experiences to develop their present, and also to move into their future. They do not sit and stare at the wall or the ceiling. They do not give up. They begin to find out new directions to get out of the situation. Your most important reconstructive task is to turn your own doubts into your own confidence. Bring out and see the best in yourself and not the worst. Quickly look for and find a cure for your myopia. Stress may be part of our living, but we must learn to quickly stand up to it without any delay. Procrastination means additional tension. It is very important that we must begin to turn our difficulties, problems, and crises into opportunities to progress. These, if left to develop, become our liabilities. So we must convert them into our assets. Many people like you have turned their mounting liabilities into beautiful assets. William Wilberforce was enslaved by nature because he was a lame, a cripple, and a deformed person who could hardly stand up on his feet, but he freed millions of slaves of the world through his persistent writing and speeches. He had the power of words and turned his liabilities into assets. Demosthenes was a Greek who could not speak but tried hard to pretend to speak before an audience. Born the son of a wealthy sword maker, Demosthenes was orphaned at the age of 7. His father left him well provided for, but his legal guardians defrauded him and squandered his inheritance, causing him to seek retribution through the courts when he came of age. One day he went to the riverside where he began picking up pebbles and putting them in his mouth one by one. Then he tried to talk by throwing the pebbles out of his mouth one by one. A time came when his persistence made him not only talk well, but he became one of the greatest orators of Greece. John Bunyan was a wicked man who could be classed as a morally evil person. So the authorities put him in prison when they found him guilty of misdeeds. He was a person who mended pots and pans, a tinker. He was put in Bedford jail for 7 years on dry bread, dirty water, and a stone as his pillow. These liabilities made a humble tinker into a great thinker. Bunyan wrote the famous religious classic, The Pilgrim's Progress, so he too was able to turn his liabilities into assets. Socrates, the famous Greek philosopher, had a liability too. His wife was cruel to him, and she nagged a lot. Some men go mad when they face such situations, and drink themselves to death, or commit other crimes. However, Socrates chose another direction to overcome this difficulty. He went out on the street to talk to everyone. When the people told him that it was a lovely day, he refuted this by arguing that if it were like this every day, then the umbrella men would go broke and starve. He became the brightest philosopher the world has ever seen. He too turned his liabilities into his assets. There are many other people like the above who were able to turn their liabilities into assets only because they knew what was holding them back, and then they were determined to get out of the cage. Similar examples can be given for other species of the animal kingdom. Take an oyster. When a grain of sand gets into an oyster, it has a liability within it because this grain of sand can kill it. The oyster quickly gets to working and wriggles strongly to expel the grain of sand from its body. Its brain is only 1/1,000,000th, as small as a pinhead, but its instinct tells it to throw the liability out. However, when it knows that it cannot throw the grain of sand out, it turns that big liability into its asset. It clamps it down, closes up, polishes the grain of sand, and converts it into a precious pearl. An ant carrying a small straw into its hole meets a crevice, which it cannot cross, so it puts the straw across the crevice and continues its journey. It never gives up, but turns its liability into its asset. I have given you many reasons to overcome your problems and difficulties, and these should enable you to see clearly what is holding you back from progress. Whatever you do, but remember what Matthew 7:7 says, Ask, and it shall be given, seek, and ye shall find, knock, and it shall be opened unto you.